Hello and welcome to Fight Club. I'm Mojo, here's the hammer.
Yo!
And boy, we got a fourth week, four-color final showdown waiting here on a leaky boat in the middle of an undisclosed location, guys. Hammer, hit him up. What's happening this week on Fight Club?
Absolutely. So, if you are new to Fight Club, welcome. We're glad to have you. This is a show, we're actually on season 3, believe it or not, which is wild. This is a show where Mojo and I get a number of phenomenal streamers who also play Magic together every single week. And we test their deck building prowess and their showmanship, if you will, to put on an enjoyable show for all of you. And this week, all of our competitors are we're randomly given 4 color combinations. Now, the way that it works is on week 1, we draw a random color out of a box, and they're given that color, and we start with a different color for everybody. And then after that, each week we add a color to the mix, and they are truly forced to use that color every single week. So if they have 2 colors on week 2, you have to represent both of them. You can't just be like, hey, that week 1 deck was good, I'm just gonna run that pack. No. That's not gonna cut it. Well, when you're working with 2 colors or even 3 colors, that's not too bad, right? Like we've all balanced that. That's cool. This week, however, we're doing 4 colors, which in my opinion is probably the most awkward spot to be.
Yep.
Because we don't have 5-color fixing. And we're also using commander color identity rules, by the way. No big deal, just putting that out there, to determine what is acceptable and what's not. So, yeah, we have an interesting scenario here where our combatants each have 4 of the 5 colors at their disposal, and they each have a different combination. And I have no doubt that people are going to... Well, I've seen the decks. I know this is going to be a really fun week. And so what we're going to do, we're going to pit a number of folks against each other. Now, you may have realized in that description... Wait a minute. You said there are 5 combatants, and they have to square off against each other. This is a 1v1 game. How does that work? Well, fun fact. The way that we do these every single week, we have 2 matches. These are best of 3 standard matches. We pit 2 of the streamers against each other. Great. Then we pit 2 of the other streamers against each other. Okay, cool. Now we have this awkward 5th streamer who's just kind of hanging out, who doesn't have anybody to fight. Well, that's where you come in, folks at home, here in the Twitch chat if you're watching this live. What we do is when it comes time for that 5th fighter to step in, we are going to have you vote on the 2 combatants, between the 2 combatants who lost their previous match, to come back in for a redemption fight. We are keeping score throughout the weeks. A win is worth a point. It's very simple. If somebody is voted back as the redemption fight and they win the match, they receive a half a point. Now, the wildcard fighter who didn't fight anyone else that day is still eligible to win a whole point. Don't worry, we're not, they still have the full opportunity. And by virtue of it being a 5-week challenge, we have 5 streamers. Everyone gets a turn in that awkward hot seat where they have no idea what they're going to be going up against. Yeah. So that's the rundown. That's where we are.
This week, we got Carlo Favaretto in the first preliminary fight versus myself.
Whoa, no way.
I will be playing, what am I? I am not white.
Yes. So
Carlo
yes, you have access to everything but white.
Yeah.
And in standard, white has a lot of good stuff going on.
Combo pieces like Ratterbrick and all them guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely curious what you came up with. So
I'm excited.
I don't know. Do you want to talk about your process? What were you thinking? Or should we just
going in? First of all, 4 colors. 5 colors is a lot more lenient, open. You can get a lot more cards that synergize with using that many mana. Not so much with 4, and especially with not white.
Indeed.
A lot of pieces are out, but I had green, and I had black, and I had splash. I personally ended up splashing blue and red, just enough to get in the color spectrum, but not enough to throw out the synergy of the deck.
Excellent. All right, so let's pull it on
That
up.
being said, let's crack it open, Hammer. Let's begin Fight Club Week 4.
Boom. Let's go. So here we go. This is our first 4-color deck of the day.
Yep.
And this, I gotta say, I've seen a couple people with similar decks, and I've definitely tried to do something with this. The synergies on this thing, off the charts. A+. You'll love to see it.
First thing right off the bat, we are self-milling, guys. and it looks like right when you see the guards, there you go. Somphage is my
Cruel
blue.
Somniphage. Yep.
And so what the goal is here, guys, is to mill all this stuff as fast as we can in the graveyard, getting everybody as big as possible, as soon as possible, and then using one more card up, please. The Callous
Indeed.
Sword.
This guy is sick. I love this card. Yeah. Yeah. So what you're doing right now, you're doing
You can find and throw it at Carlo.
you're doing Goyf Thud. That is what we're doing. This is a Goyf Thud situation.
Yep. No sideboard here, chat. I hear him ranting outside the arena right now.
I'm sure you're looking at this thinking, wait, where's the sideboard? Was that like an import error? Is that a display? Nah.
Chat,
Mojo doesn't need one.
If you guys can figure out what you want in a sideboard and what would actually not ruin the combo and still be able to, like, change the game pace, throw it in the comments below for all. Surprise me. There's nothing in standard that I would. Toxrill maybe just a few little guys. It
could be fun, but even then, a 7-drop is not necessarily where you want to be. You want to end the game before that. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Now, one card that I noticed you don't have in here that I'm curious about, I'd love to get your feelings on, is a Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. Did you consider that at all?
No, because it's not a creature. I did
Fair
Tyvar, but it's not a creature, and everything in there is creature based, and it really helps with Edge of Autumn and a few other things.
Actually, I do love that because all of every single non-land spell in this deck is a creature.
It's all creature. So I've learned yourself building, messing around with Tyvar and a few other things, it just ruins the synergy of the deck.
Yeah,
and you can't. It just ruins the synergy of the deck. Really does.
That's fair. Because, you got 3 Old Stick Fingers, you got 4 Urborg Lurgoyfs, and you got 4 Cruel Somniphages.
Yeah,
I mean, these are all creatures whose power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. Yeah, so being able to just turbo.
All creatures. Everything in here is a creature.
Heck, even 4 of your lands are creatures. I mean, they don't count as creatures in the graveyard, unfortunately, but you know what I'm saying.
We'll get there.
Yeah, so this is definitely leaning into the Sultai, but you've got that Callous Sword, burn together action.
We can reoccur it. So if we mill the sword, we can reoccur it with, like, Butler.
Yep.
That's it.
Hey, but you know what? You got 4 of them. That's what working. Yeah, well, you got your 1 Takanuma. You got your 1 Takanuma in there.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
No basics, guys. There ain't no basic girls here. Not today.
Yes. No, this is cool. I dig it. Honestly, this is a setup that I've been really enjoying.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be fun.
In standard. It's tons of fun.
You like the self-mill.
I do.
It's one of our niches that we share fondly. Yeah.
100%. Well, in Callous Sword, it fits this setup so perfectly because it has that fling effect where if you're successful in getting the Goyf moving, it's gigantic. But it doesn't have evasion. And so you need some way to either give it trample or get over the top, and this is exactly that. It delivers that kill shot.
Pinch and move if necessary, absolutely.
Exactly. Yep. And worst case scenario, when it mills, it's a creature, so it counts. It's great.
Sacrifice a Butler and bring back other things. It depends on what I need to do,
Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful stuff.
I'm ready to fight Carlo, dude.
Oh, no, this is going to be exciting. This is definitely going to be exciting. So let's go ahead and bring Carlo in here.
Yes.
Do a little pre-fight interview action.
Carlo is currently in the lead right now, guys, in Fight Club.
It's true.
Oh,
so, yes, Carlo, we got you.
Well,
how's it going, my friend?
I mean, they say I'm in the lead. I'm hoping I'm in the lead.
You are, in fact, in the lead right now. So
listen. It's been a nice couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It has been. It certainly has been. You've been doing a good job here. Yeah, so for the record, the point totals right now. Carlo right now is in the lead with 2.5, 2.5 points. And then second place, we have Numbskull with 2 points. Ooh. We have Damien also has 2 points, so tied for second place there. And then Mojo has 1 point, so still in this thing, but yeah. And then we have Astralsflame with half a point from last week's event. So everybody's on the board. Everybody's won something. But Carlo is in the lead right now. Those Tyranix Rexes over the last few weeks have been
unprecedented lead here.
Yeah, have been kind of crushing it.
They've been some roaring dinos, that's for sure.
They sure have. All right, so Carlo, you were tasked this week with building everything but blue.
Everything but blue, and it was crazy because at the end of last week, I said, "Can I get blue so I can add Goose Mother to the ramp deck?"
No.
But no,
Would've been
of
great, let's
course,
be honest.
naturally,
Yeah.
we can't get what we want.
Nope.
We had the beauty of having Jund last week when we had to face off against the Jund Master.
Oh,
So,
man.
you know,
Poetic
we couldn't
justice
get
there,
what
really.
we wanted for 2 weeks in a row. So I'm trying something a little bit different this week.
Yep.
Something that maybe Mojo wouldn't expect. So, yeah.
No.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. So Mojo maybe came in expecting Tyranax or X, but wait a minute.
Oh my virgin!
If you remember from last week, I did say since we got white, I was going to try out some Moonshaker Cavalry, and it doesn't really work out great in the ramp deck. So we had to try to figure out which best way we can merge ramp plus tokens, which Moonshaker Cavalry works really well with. So you'll see some familiar players in this deck from last week, such as Charming Scoundrel and Bramble Familiar, right? They're rampant. And we still got Virtue of Persistence in this deck from last week. But to really focus on the token strategy, we've added Galligrators, which does ramp us, right? It makes treasure tokens. And so we couldn't not play 3 Blind Mice because that copies treasure tokens. And then we get to play sweet cards like Wedding Announcement, just for the general token generation. Lord Skitter, which is going to help us deal with the graveyard. So it's nice to see Mojo playing with the self-mill deck this week, which was unexpected. And then Mundrak is going to help us double those treasure tokens. And it also doubles Lord Skitter's ability. So we get to exile 2 cards if we have Skitter plus Mondrak out.
Yep.
And of course, a pet favorite card of mine is Rabble Rousing. So you might be asking yourself, how am I going to cast a Moonshaker Cavalry? And if I don't ramp into it, we're going to attack and hit it off of this Rabble Rousing, right? So that's going to be an instant game winner. So we're going to see how this is going to work out this week. Of course, Gruff Triflets is back. We played that in weeks 1 and 2. It's still going to be pretty good going into this week. My only worry is that it costs triple green when we're focusing on almost like a white base deck this week. But we're going to see how it works. And just like Mojo, we also aren't playing any basics this week. So thankfully, Mojo doesn't have any like Field of Ruins.
Demolition coming in.
Yeah, there we go.
Dude, you are so wide. It's like my worst matchup is super wide.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to be chump blockers for days. And because Mojo's going tall, Carlo's going wide. And the 2 of Skitters being incidental graveyard hate, that really hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really good for me because I don't have any graveyard hate in the sideboard. But don't worry, for those of you who are Tyrannix Rex enjoyers, 2 Rexes are still in the sideboard.
Yeah, they are.
So in the instance that I feel like I need to bring that card in. But yeah, I've been trying to test this on the ladder a bit. I've had mixed results, so we'll see what happens this week.
I'm going to die. All right. Carlo, you got to say to your competitor before you murder him in front of the viewers across the world.
I hope you're ready to have your rabbles roused, baby.
I love it when you talk dirty. All right, Carlo.
Rabbles are getting roused.
That's right.
Do I need to change the stream so we're 18 plus? Do I need to? Do it.
Put it in the private chat. We're good.
Awesome. All right,
guys. All right, I'm miking up, man.
All right, well, gentlemen, let's send you back into the locker room. Let's go ahead. I want a tough, clean fight. Let's go ahead and touch gloves.
Touch gloves.
All right. Cool. So we are going to go ahead and be watching this match. We are going to start watching from Carlo's perspective. And then for games 2 and maybe 3, if we're lucky, perhaps we can move over to Mojo's. And in the booth with me, you'll notice, wait a minute, how can Mojo commentate on a game if he's playing? Well, we're not going to have Mojo in the booth. I'm going to have my buddy Astralsflame join me. Astrals, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Ham. What's going on, bud?
Oh, man. I am, my heart rate has reduced a little bit. I'm back to an even keel after a horror stream last night, and I'm feeling good. And I know, well, I've calmed down just in time to get excited again for this battle here. I'm very excited. Cannot wait. But yeah, how about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, and with that last word I just kind of heard from Carlo, I immediately thought of like the best short form story for this game. I used to talk about fanfic. I'd take a card and take an MTG streamer and write a small fanfic about it. And I gotta tell you, based on how this match goes, I might have a little story to tell for these two after this with some
Let's
Robins
go.
being roused.
Mojo already flashing the good game, seeing the Gala greeters. Carlo is also on the play here. Here we go. We have the Xeotor's Proving Grounds into the Deathcap Glade for Mojo. You do not want to see those slow lands on 2. That is not a good omen.
No, it's
Meanwhile,
not.
Carlo curving out perfectly. Gala greeters into Wedding Announcement.
I'm loving how Carlos is just like looking strong here. Like ramp is established, board state established, looking good. But like Mojo's got as we've seen, the self-mill deck can be a little slow. It's not impossible to say Mojo is just gonna like quickly pull ahead.
It's one of those things with the self-mill decks. Actually, both of these decks have the potential to explode kind of out of nowhere. We have the fling action from the Lurgoyf deck, the Urborg Lurgoyf, or the Somnophage. Notably from Carlo, we're not seeing Lord Skitter yet. And so we have the Charming Scoundrel with the Gala greeters and the Wedding Announcement. I mean, this is all cash money in the bank. Perfect. This is a phenomenal double spell opportunity.
Yep.
Leverage those treasure tokens.
Like we're getting double Gala greater triggers here, Wedding Announcement trigger, the board's established. Like Carlo just looks in a good position, but
yeah.
I'm not going to count Mojo out yet.
Exactly. Well, and we've seen these self-mill strategies, if they can just really, hit a lot of those mill creatures, the gnawing vermins, the undead butlers and the like. If you can stack enough of those, or the Somnophage itself, if you can adventure the Can't Wake Up adventure, which is always a song cue. Yes, I hear it too. That is one of those where if you can set that up, you can all of a sudden just have a 20/20 Lurgoyf just hanging out, kind of out of nowhere, and then having the fling action there. So Cruel Somnophage is going to mill 3 creatures in a land. Not bad. So, yeah, that's more or less what you want to see. So here goes 3 Blind Mice, copying the treasure token without even hitting his land drop. Carlo has the mana for the rabble rousing.
Disgustingly amazing. And what pulls on this rabble rousing? Mondrak, Virtue,
there were exactly 5 creatures. So here goes the Virtual Loyalty. We're gonna get the triple crown on the Gala greeters on the attack here easily.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that this game is over, but that was a power play.
Yeah.
I don't either. That 3 lands and Carlos look at my board. I have 10 creatures. 9 of them are 3/3s.
I mean, and we know Mojo's not running sweepers. That's the thing about these rabble rousing decks is they produce a situation where it is board wipe or bust fairly quickly, and that's what we have here. And on the ladder we see Sunfall everywhere, Brotherhood Zen sees play, and as a result these decks struggle in some of those competitive environments, but in a more, not necessarily, I mean, not that these players didn't come to play, and not that they're not here to win, but in this kind of environment where it's a little looser, and people are here more to put on a show. Those sweepers aren't as common, and Carlo is definitely benefiting from that here.
Oh, Carlo has taken prime in for that.
Oh my goodness. 3 Blind Mice copying the treasure is awesome, I have to say as well. That is really cool.
I have not personally tried 3 Blind Mice in decks myself. It's just not been the forte of interest, but I love what's going on with that in. Taking advantage of that while you're running lower lands. I think that makes sense. Reduce the land count, make more treasures, and have a board of now 20 creatures.
Yeah, and between the Virtue of Loyalty and the Wedding Announcement, I mean, them all going from 1/1s to 3/3s last turn, and additionally, all of those would have untapped at the end step and gotten a +1/+1 counter. Holy cow!
Absolutely disgusting.
That is what a token deck wants to do right there. That's plan A. We saw it. Yeah. And it's funny, actually, after that performance, looking at Moonshaker Cavalry, it kind of feels almost like win more in this scenario.
Yeah, do you even need it?
Yeah. To be fair, though, on that one turn where Carlo was able to swing with 5 creatures and hit the Virtue, that was a great turn. If that had been a Moonshaker Cavalry, Mojo's done right there on the spot. It is
that's
over.
game.
Yeah, and so I mean, it is a cool setup, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see that happen at some point.
No, absolutely. And, but I'm hoping we get to see some fling action. I was really hoping.
Absolutely.
Like, if maybe a turn or two different had happened the last game, Mojo could have had a really nice setup. Like, things were going, but looking at his hand right now, I'm liking what we're seeing from Mojo's side with some good development of the Gnawing Vermin.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, I did not switch over properly. So there we go. So we have the Gnawing Vermin. We also have the Urborg Lurgoyf. Ooh, and that we have double Sellsword. It's very cool. Meanwhile, Carlo's hand, which we just saw a moment ago here on the stream, is more or less stacked. We're going to see another curve out situation here.
Yep.
But hey, that is that's a 3/4 Goyf, and the Gnawing Vermin might as well attack. That's basically 1 free damage. I can't imagine Carlo would be willing to trade here.
No, absolutely. Like take advantage of the damage we can get it in, because things can get so explosive with Carlo's deck, as we just saw.
Absolutely. So the Callous Sellsword, notably in Mojo's list, is only a 2 of. And he found a way to draw both of them. Additionally, there's no red mana, so he can't even use it to fling the Gnawing Vermin, which would actually be really nice right here.
Extremely.
Being able to, fling the Gnawing Vermin, kill one of those 1/1s, and then the Gnawing Vermin's trigger would kill the other. That'd be great.
Yeah, clear the board, press in the damage, fill the graveyard just a little bit more for those Cruel Somnophages.
Absolutely.
But, we're still getting in a little development here. We got 1 Callous Sellsword down, 2/2 blocker. I'm curious, does Carlo have that land, though? Because we did see in the previous hand, I believe there was a Rabble Rousing in Carlo's hand already.
Indeed. Yes, I believe there is. Well, we have the treasure token, so here it is.
Oh, that's scary. Turn 4 Rabble.
Rabble is getting roused. Now, fortunately for Mojo, there's only 1 creature here, and they have the blocker, so that is going to slow down the Rabble Rousing's advance a little, but the Wedding Announcement just has Carlo's back here. Gnawing Vermin off the top, that ain't bad, because Covenant is established. And we know there's going to be at least 1 creature milled in that Gnawing Vermin that's chilling on top.
Yeah. Do you choose to mill the opponent here, though, so you can have the Gnawing Vermin as an extra blocker? Because bearing in mind, Carlo's board until Virtue comes out, or Wedding Announcement, right? They're all 1/1s. Gnawing Vermin's is actually really strong in multitudes here.
Also, that Skyfisher Spider on the top of Mojo's deck here has an opportunity to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that can pop the Rabble Rousing or the Wedding Announcement. And I mean, the Rousing is the issue here.
Yeah, 100%.
So Carlo can attack with 2. Here comes Bramble Fam. Yep.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth the attack? I mean, you attack with 2 1/1s, you make 2 1/1s. It's kind of a net. I mean, yeah, it's net. But here we go. So now, unfortunately, the Wedding Announcement is live.
We do have Skyfisher Spider down, though.
Ooh, sacrificing the Callous Sellsword here to blow up the Rabble Rousing, knowing that the Gnawing Vermin won't be able to kill anything here. But on blocks, they could trade up.
Yep, which is a big benefit. But, I appreciate the decisiveness from Mojo here. Rabble Rousing definitely is a problem.
It's got to go. Yep. That thing is the value snowball that's going to end this whole thing. Oh, no!
Sage-wing. But he does get the red source still.
Yep, still has the red source, because that's the thing about Boseiju. It is not Field of Ruin. You grab any land with a basic land type. That is so key. That is a very important distinction between that and cards like Field of Ruin.
And I want to say that Boseiju, actually, I feel like that Boseiju ends up hurting Carlo even more now, because look at the top card of Mojo.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
Here we are. It's such a switch around.
Oh my god, absolutely. So yeah, we got that. We got another land here. Being able to just rip lands off the top feels so good. It is just the best. And Mojo choosing to play out the Loam Speaker here from the top just to see the next card.
Respect it.
Yep, absolutely. That's just correct, honestly. And here a Gnawing Vermin can get sacrificed. And the Gnawing Vermin is going to kill that token as the Skyfisher Spider takes out the Wedding Announcement. So that gets the Anthem effect off the board. The 1/1 bites it. Now all of a sudden, Mojo is clearly the beatdown, and that Laughing Beholder is here to
just showcasing it.
Testify to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mojo's got that Callous Sellsword ready in hand for the flinging action. Depending on what gets milled next turn or hits in the graveyard, this could just be a fling and an end.
Absolutely. Bramble Familiar does find the Rabble Rousing, which is good, but I think it's too late.
I think at this point I have to agree. Just Mojoe's got such a board state.
It's funny too, because in these situations, it's often correct to swing with your 1/1s just to make the more 1/1s off the rail browsing, knowing full well you're going to lose them. But with the gnawing vermin down, it would actually be a significantly larger loss.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So Mojoe is going to use old stick fingers to mill quite a bit.
The fling.
We have it happening. All right, here we go. Stick fingers, fling to the face. Boom.
We have officially seen both players do something so explosive in game 1s and 2. Wow.
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. All right, so let's go. There we go. And with that, we get a game 3. I love seeing a good game 3. Oh my goodness.
Agreed.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and watch from Carlos' perspective for this one. Although I'm happy either way.
I absolutely agree. Like, this game just feels like it's going to be like, who is going to get the pop off? Like,
that's what it comes down to.
It's the thing rolling. Like, even though Carlo had such a good start, like Mojoe into those Skyfisher spiders. Like,
right. Those spiders were so clutch. Honestly, this is advice that I'm willing to give a lot of folks. Prioritize flexible removal. That is very, very, very important. You might look at a card like Utter End for your commander decks and think, is this really good enough? It's like, it says non-land permanent. Yes, it is. That flexibility is huge.
It is.
It's just, yes, it is. All right, so Carlo drawing these Zeotor's Proving Grounds here is very good. It's not ideal because Jetmir's Garden was already there. So Carlo wanted to play out one of those 2 drops, but making sure to hit the third, making sure to hit all the land drops is better than nothing. So Absolutely. It'll be okay. Still open for a land here. Yep.
Yeah, like we prioritize tap lands over other land, which is great. And I mean, I'm not upset with Carlo's hand. I think things are looking all right. We got a few things and some tokens rolling.
Absolutely. So yeah, that Undead Butler's gonna come crashing in. It does beat the Gala Greeters in a fight. Oh, and here we have one of the absolute queens of Standard coming off of Carlo's top deck.
An absolute monarch, the Wandering Emperor drawn in hand, and the mana available next turn for it too.
Oh my goodness. Yep. It's one of those cards where if you're in white, you might as well run her. All right. Carlo going to drop the Charming Scoundrel. The sheer number of treasure tokens that are about to get generated. Yeah. And with the cavalry in hand, that looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, like I feel like there's just because Carlo only needs maybe 4 creatures to really make an impact of damage.
Mm-hmm.
With
gaining a little bit of life to try to get out of fling range. No need to attack here yet. Yeah. Yep. This is looking good.
Yeah, like a little bit more mana and
that's all you need. Yeah, so next turn, honestly, 1 creature coming out. Those Gala Greeters are going to be pumping out more treasures. Here comes the Spoder. Skyfisher Spider. Undead Butler getting sacked here.
Okay. Respect.
Nice thing about the Undead Butler, when it enters the battlefield, you mill, but then when it dies, you can exile it from your graveyard and get a Raised Dead, where you can grab any creature from your graveyard and put it back into your hand. Mojoe apparently doesn't find anything worthwhile, so would rather just keep the 2 creatures in the yard. Here comes another Bramble Familiar.
I think we're going for treasures here, right?
I think, you have to, right?
Yeah, because that Moonshaker Cavalry's just got to, slam down,
Yeah, next turn, it's just, next turn you shake the moon and call it a day, right?
I think so. I see no other reason why not to. I mean, unless Carlo wants to set this back a turn, because, there is a potential to flash in the Emperor, make a 2/2, get 2 more treasure, and I think you just have enough, and that actually could spell out the lethal game.
And Mojoe doing the Gnawing Vermin action on Carlo once more. When you see an opportunity to mill the opponent out, you go for it. Well, actually, honestly, that just says that Mojoe was happy with their top deck. Here comes Wandering Emperor.
Making the 2/2.
That puts Carlo down. Oh, never mind, because here we have treasure tokens.
Exactly, that's the mana.
It's so good.
And this is the cavalry coming in.
Here it is. I was just about to say we're shy on mana. And the auto tapper tapping the Bramble Familiar, that may be relevant?
Slightly, but why auto tapper? What are you doing?
Auto tapper, yeah.
I see 7/7s and a 9/9. I think
even with the reach blocker on the spider, this is still 21 damage. So yeah,
it is.
Carlos got it. Oh my goodness.
1 life. Mojo's
1
still
HP in a dream. All right, Mojo.
Come
Let's
on,
see what you got.
Mojo.
The Skyfish Spider you could also exile from your graveyard, and you gain life when you do so.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my goodness.
This is intense.
You paid for the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge. Yeah, the auto tapper there. Had the treasure token been used rather than the Bramble Familiar, that would have been an additional 7 damage on the attack. Or no, 8 damage on the attack.
Yep.
Here we have another spider.
Oh my goodness, the Spooter is in, getting on Gnawing Vermin, which I respect here, because you can take out something.
Exactly. So you take out one of the Galligators, probably.
I think Galligators and the Cavalry, which takes like 2 creatures.
Oh no! Mojo misclicked.
No!
The
Mojo,
Gnawing
why?
Vermin was targeting the Cavalry. No! That was just a miss. That was a misclick. 100%.
Mojo, no.
Oh, you hate to see it. Oh. All right. So now we have the Urborgler going live.
And we do have
Cruel
a plus
Somnophage is a 7/7. That's no joke. So we have a good sized board.
But we just
However,
have the Cavalry.
There's just another Cavalry. I mean, Carlo, you got to do it, right?
Yeah, this is Carlos said
You gotta
he wanted to do this, right? Like,
Yeah, there's a second of hesitation. Like, I mean, do I? It's like, yeah, you just do. It's the right answer. Yeah. Here we go.
what?
The moon is once more being shaken.
Shaken and
Alright.
crushed. Rabbles have been roused.
Indeed. Indeed. So there we go. This was a really interesting match. Yeah, Skyfish Spider again. Gain him out to some life, but it's not going to be enough this time. Oh my goodness. That misclick was a factor, although even so, there would have been 1 fewer attacker and they would have been 6s instead of 7s. It still would have been enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't it was not a game-breaking misclick. Yeah. But all the same, beautifully played by both competitors. And Astros, thank you so much for joining me in the booth.
Happy to be in the booth.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our competitors back in here. Let's go ahead and head on back. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Man, I was swatting off cavalry like the British. I don't know, man. What the?
Oh, yeah. That was something
I
else.
told you I was coming with the cavalry, baby.
I survived one, bro, like a monster. And I had fling in hand and nothing to do with it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh
I got to say,
my God.
beautifully played. And after game 1, I remember I was having the thought, like, man, Carlos' deck just looks like it's just ahead. And then game 2, Mojo, you really proved that, like, wait a minute. A couple of well-placed pieces of removal, and all of a sudden you can hang.
Yeah.
Those gnawing vermins put in some work.
They did.
There's
Oh my
no
God,
question
I was
about it. As did the spiders.
swatting off cavalry, bro.
Yeah,
the
when I had
cavalry-
the second one on hand, I'm like, I don't think I can lose this game somehow.
it was-
the auto tapper did try to get me that previous
It did.
turn.
Yep, it absolutely did. Tapping the Bramble Familiar was, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Good
It was funny that we were watching. So Carlo, we were watching from your perspective on game 3, and we noticed that when you had the second cavalry, you held it out for a second, and it looked like there was a hesitation. Like, do I just do it? It's like, yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it's for. Yeah. I gotta say, and the treasures also sequenced out beautifully. I gotta say that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
enjoy like Gallagreeters into Charming Scoundrel. Surprisingly, provides the same ramp that Invasion of Zendikar does.
Right?
In
Yeah.
terms of treasure, and I had thought about in making the deck if I wanted to play Armored Scrap Gorger because it taps for mana of any color.
Yep.
But if you play against a deck that's playing removal, my Scrap Gorger's dead. I get no mana, and so us playing with Commander Identity rules, I can't play Courier's Briefcase because we're not on 5-color week yet.
Not yet.
So I
Yep.
have to play something that's a guaranteed treasured mana. And both Gallagreeters and Scoundrel do that well together.
Beautiful.
Well
Yeah.
played,
No, that was
dude.
really
Well
cool.
deserved.
And well done, I gotta say. The one game, I think it was game 1, where I believe you even missed your 4th land drop, but the 3 blind mice copied the treasure and you were able to rip the rabble rousing. It was like, wait a minute, I think this guy's onto something.
That was great.
Yeah, no, that was really cool.
I'm glad
So
I get steamrolled all 2 games, man. It was nice, dude. I
No,
gave me a
great
glimmer
match,
of
well
hope
played.
That was a
at
great
all.
match.
Even,
Yeah,
even
that was-
beating that one cavalry, like if you had drawn a land instead, it would have been
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad that both of our decks got to work.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shine
Absolutely.
with how we built the deck. So it was a great match.
Dude, I can't believe
Yeah.
I survived with 1 health.
One.
Off the
You're on
caliber.
one.
Yes.
Just the
Well,
one.
even in the booth, I called that wrong. Honestly, I was like, oh, and that's it. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was.
Oh man, what a game.
Yeah, well
All
done.
right, Carlo,
All right, so with that,
yeah.
Carlo now securing the lead and adding some padding to that lead up
Yeah.
to 3.5, with Numbskull and Damien tied at 2 points apiece. Coming in second place, so very good. All right, and actually, honestly, a little peek behind the curtain, folks. That match went a little quicker than we had anticipated.
Yes, it did. Darn it, Carlo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, right? How dare you bring a fun, explosive deck that
My
can win
bad.
quickly?
Carlo. Not
So in
that
any event.
hammer.
Yeah. No, the reason I mentioned that is just that we are actually waiting for one of our fighters who is just a little bit late into the
Numbskull.
getting into the locker room. Yeah, which it's all good. We will make it work. But yeah, so Carlo, thank you so much for showing off that deck. I gotta say that was a ton of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Let's do
well
it
played.
again. You got extra time. Let's see that. All
right.
Nostrils now then.
Oh yeah, we want to just put Numbskull back in the wildcard spot, just by virtue of getting yeah.
We could do that, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, we can make that work.
Honorable, Damien versus Nostrils.
I'm not mad at that idea if that works for the other folks.
What do you
Cool.
think, Carlo?
Yeah, works
Oh,
for me.
all right.
All right.
Saints here.
Cool. Well, with that then, you know what? In the interest of keeping the show on the road, we can go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and bring in Damien then, and we can keep the interviews flowing,
Great
and
game,
we will
pal.
call an audible. Numbskull gets the distinct privilege of being in the wildcard spot 2 weeks now, which hey, it's all good. All right.
Yep.
So very good.
well,
So
hi.
yeah, So Carlo, thank you again. Let's get you back into the locker room. Let's go ahead and bring Damien on in.
Yep.
So yeah, Damien, can you hear us?
Damien had the same color as I did.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yes, I
And rocking
did.
the Hawaiian
Sorry,
shirt,
I don't
good
know if you
call.
can hear me. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, we got you.
Mojo, you didn't get the memo? It's
It's
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
shirt
shirt day.
day.
Come on, man.
Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirt.
What are you
Hang
doing?
on, hang on.
yeah.
I did.
Oh, are you? Oh, no way.
I
You
got-
did?
No
I got
way.
something Made like
Oh.
Oh, let's go. All right.
Of course you do. Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, we got
That is
yes,
really
love it,
good.
love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
I-
giving the people what they
good,
want.
good.
I love it.
I
All
love
right.
it. That was not rehearsed, everyone.
No,
I
that was-
Some kind of Hawaiian print T-shirt under there, but
I love it.
That's
Oh
a
my
tie-dye,
goodness.
goodness.
Tie dye is Hawaiian.
It counts. Yeah.
Close
It's colorful. It's got a
tell
fun pattern.
I got
Yeah.
it.
Shiny.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's
I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, so Damien,
Anyway,
you were
yeah,
tasked
so,
this week.
I don't know what's going on. I haven't played against Numbskull yet. I played against Astral, I think, in last week, but I'm ready to rock. I've got my deck going here. I don't know
Yep.
how it's going to perform. I'm not metagaming against it. I don't even know what colors Numbskull was supposed to be. So I definitely don't know what Astrals is playing.
Yeah, Numbskull was Numbskull was or is
Not
everything
green.
but red,
Right?
and Astrals has everything but black.
Sorry, hold up. I can't hear Ham. Just let me.
Oh no,
Fix that.
that is suboptimal. Check 1 2 testing.
Suboptimal.
Suboptimal.
hit.
That is yeah.
Sorry,
not ideal.
Suboptimal?
All right. I should be sharing my voice through
Let me just check.
Video Ninja. So
Yeah, I can hear you, Mojo, but I'm sorry I can't hear Ham here.
that is awkward.
Is it a...
Ham says you're awkward.
Yeah, no. Come on, man.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
All right, Mojo, you're translating. All right.
Why I can't hear Mojo.
It is all good. We will figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know why. That's super
alright.
weird.
That is super weird.
Interesting.
Damien, do you have? Well, let me go ahead and ask in the way you can't hear.
Yeah,
Do you have Video Ninja muted in any way or something? Or am I muted in your?
Now I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, cool.
All right.
Okay.
Good work.
Sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
no. It's all good. It's all good. I don't.
No,
Yeah, there are. At any given time, whenever we're doing any kind of broadcast like this, folks at home, there are usually like 15 windows that we end up having to like juggle, and you can mute all of them, you know. And so yeah, no, it's all good, dude. No worries.
I
Anyway.
had you muted. My bad.
But yeah, so here we are. Thank you for being flexible. You know, as we
No worries.
adjust to keep the show moving. And yeah, so right now, you're challenged to build non-white. And Numbskull was non-red. So Numbskull was basically like in Atraxa colors.
Okay.
And Astrals is non-black. So
Oh, okay.
yes, so
Interesting.
that's what we're doing. And so yeah,
I think that's fine. Sure, I'll take anybody on. I decided to go a new route. Last week we did mill. Mill was fun, but time to change it up. So yeah.
all right.
No mill.
Cool. So yeah, getting able to build everything but white. What was your thought process going into this?
Yeah, I mean, white is one of the best colors in Standard, but you also get some of the best, like, even sideboard cards and other stuff. But really, like, black is the best color. I'm still happy to just be Grixis plus green. I was like, how do I incorporate green into this? You know, it's weird because the ramp decks, you look at the ramp decks in Standard and you can use those as a template, right? They're going Topiary Stomper on turn 3 into Invasion of Zendikar, and you're trying to play big white Wraths to like keep everything in check, like Sunfall with no access to Sunfall, Farewell, Archangel of Wrath, Leyline Binding. You know, here I am looking at all these like, you know, 5-color or 4-color kind of configurations, but without access to Leyline Binding, it's like, oh my god. One of the big reasons to play all these come into play tap tri-lands just vanishes, right? So I was like, okay, I don't want to go all in on the ramp then because I'm not going to be all in. Yeah, and that's what green does all the time. So I'm going to try. I have some ramp, but I'm basically trying to ramp into a combo here. There's a few different combos going on. So I don't know if you have the deck list up, but
yep, we're opening it up right now.
Okay.
Bam. All right. So yeah.
There's some
Tell the people what we're
here.
seeing.
The main combo here is Hidetsugu Explosive Singularity, which of course Hidetsugu and Kairi let you brainstorm essentially. You put the Singularity on top, and then you can use Corrupted Conviction, the 1-mana spell, to sack a creature, draw 2 cards to instant speed Hidetsugu Kairi Reveal Explosive. When you reveal Explosive, it does 10 damage. Then you cast it for free, it does 10 damage, so you can do 20 damage in one shot. So it's an interesting combo. There's a few awkward spots, like a lot of combo decks. If you ever played Creativity combo or something in Pioneer or Explorer on Arena, you know that it's awkward when you draw the target that you're trying to cheat into play. In this case, it's Singularity. I never want to hard cast Singularity. But with access to green, we actually end up in spots where sometimes you just need to, you can cast it, or, you know, I'm trying Planar Incision here, the 2-drop blue spell, which is kind of odd, but it blinks a creature, and I found so many times, if they go to kill Hidetsugu, and I don't have the Singularity on top to kill them, I blink it. Or I blink it in response to Leyline, or Sunfall, or any Exile effect, because remember, Exile effects will not trigger Hidetsugu Kairi, it's gotta die. So you know, I found it to actually be really sweet. And then randomly, you'll just Planar Incision, and then you just have a 6/5 flying Hidetsugu Kairi, and you just punch them once and cast Singularity, and they die. So Chandra's in there as well to kind of just be a silly, you know how much I love Chandra. She's awesome. I love.
She's great.
Chandra.
Yeah, I can't deny it. Yeah.
So I'm trying to spice it up here. I'm playing. Oh, sorry, Mojo. What's up?
I'm so proud of you, man. This is the most spiciest list you brought all Fight Club. Dude.
Well, I wanted to play a combo deck, and you know, there's some slow, clicky combo, like the Agatha Soul Cauldron combo and stuff. There's so many clicks. If you've ever played against that deck or played with it, it's way too much clicking. I wouldn't subject you to that. I wouldn't subject the chat to that. I would not subject my opponent to that. So I want a combo, and I just want it to end. Bam, one shot, you're done. 20 damage. You're out.
That'll do it.
So,
this is very much that One Punch Man kind of setup. It just it does the thing.
Exactly.
That's that.
The deck.
Yes.
Plargan Nasari is in here as well as a weird kind of same effect. Like you can exile an explosive singularity off the top or some huge spell. Phyrexian Fleshgorger is another 7-drop. Breach is in here for the same reason. You can reveal any of these cards to do like 7 damage to them or cast them off the top. Planar Incision also works really well with Fleshgorger. You can play Fleshgorger on 3 and then blink it, and it's an 8/6 Menace lifelink, you know, on turn 4 or whatever. Swinging. So
it's great when you
together.
Yeah, it's great when you attack with it as a 3/3. Your opponent spends removal, pays the 3-life ward, and then in response you blink it. And it's like, all right, you prevented this turn's damage. Fair, I guess. But now I have an untapped 8/6.
8/6.
So, I don't usually play these decks on the ladder when I'm I don't test really for Fight Club, but we're getting to the color range here where I need to make sure I can cast my spells. I'm playing 0 basics in this deck just to try and make the mana work because I can't play tri-lands. I can't play tri-lands with white in them, right? So I only have Xander's Lounge, Ziatoras, and then I've got to make it up. Anyway, so the mana ends up being fine, but I played about 4 matches on the ladder just to test the mana, and I think I went 3-1 against some other, like, 5-color ramp had no chance against this deck. It wasn't even close. And what else did I play? Esper, I think we beat, and Yeah, so it's actually really crazy. There were games where I was on like 2 life, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna untap, and if they let me untap with Hitotsugu here, I'm gonna do 20 damage to them, so it doesn't matter if I'm at 1 life, and just kill them.
Seems pretty good.
Anyway, that is the deck,
Yeah.
and I guess the sideboard, nothing special. I like Llanowar Green Widow. Sorry, yeah.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, you got Duress, D-Stroke, Negate, the kind of the classics, but yeah, then Llanowar Green Widow. Yeah, tell us about this one.
Try to play some different ones. I think Llanowar Green Widow is really good against Rafine. And I know Mojoe's not maybe playing Rafine, but on the ladder I played against Esper a couple times, and the Green Widow is awesome. It blocks and trades with and eats, big flyers and everything else, and then just comes back. In this deck, because we're not playing all the Tri-lands, it doesn't come back for super cheap, but it's usually like 4 mana, And it's actually really good. Yeah, everybody's playing like, go for the throats and stuff, and it's so big on turn 3 that they have to like use some random removal on it, then it comes back. And so that sideboard card I liked. Everything else is just pretty typical though. Yeah, Razor Lash against control, counter magic duress. Terra Sunder maybe in the main. I was debating that. I don't know if, I presume 4 color? I imagine he's playing white. Astrals is going to have ley lines and stuff, I'm guessing, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I suppose that, the 4 color week is not a bad week to start bringing those in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
start using domain. Domain
Anyway.
surface.
interesting stuff. I love this. I also gotta say, huge props for adding doing Hitotsugu with Breach the Multiverse. If you can rip a Breach the Multiverse with Hitotsugu,
It's fun.
holy crap, it is absurd. I actually had a deck once that was all Breach the Multiverse Hitotsugus and clones, where the goal was to just get as many Hitotsugus looping as possible. It was fun. It wasn't as
ridiculous.
explosive as this, but it gets silly really fast.
I think we should stop talking about Breach the Multiverse. Mojoe's gonna have flashbacks from last week.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh my gosh, man! 1,080 card deck, you monster!
triple breach. That was great.
Triple breach, yeah. It's like
That'll do it. Triple breach. All right.
an Olympic move in gymnastics.
But I gotta say, this is looking fantastic, Damien. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
we'll
is
see.
very much that explosive one-shot combo kill setup, which is always fun to
All
see.
in, baby.
Unless you're receiving it, of course. When you're the one getting the singularity to the face, it doesn't feel as good, to be fair. But from our perspective, it's going to be great no matter what happens. Yep.
There's one brief moment right before I'm about to just do a massive amount of damage, and they never see it coming because they're at like 20 life. Like they don't expect to die. I kind of feel bad just for a very brief moment. Then the feeling passes and I clobber them and they die.
Then that's that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Am I the bad guy?
Sounds like.
Nah. Bam.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's the kids who are wrong. Wrong. Yeah,
I love it. This is gonna be fun. So yeah, well done, man. This is good stuff.
yeah. We'll see.
So we have to ask the most important question.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Going into the ring, do you have any words for Astrals, who you're going to be going up against on kind of
He's
a
listening.
game day decision
I
here?
haven't seen his deck, which I like. I want to have a nice, fair, clean fight.
Oh, Astrals, I can't wait to crush you like a cockroach underfoot. Yes, I'm coming for you, Astrals. That's right, you didn't expect to face me this week, did you? It's okay. I'm gonna put on a clinic. You're gonna be my little dummy on the table. Don't worry. Oh, God!
Oh, anyway, and he's a great guy, so I really hope we have a great fight, and I really hope the best deck wins.
Error. That's the guy. Spooky
cool.
voice guy. Touch gloves.
Touch
What?
gloves?
Yeah.
You're there. Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Woo. All right.
over.
Wow. So that
That
was
was that. Do that.
okay. So hey, Astrals, how's it going? Welcome.
The flame is here and ready to go.
There's more of it. No. Oh, so anyway.
From the last one.
All right.
Welcome aboard, Astros. Welcome home, John.
Oh, my goodness.
So you are currently not playing black cards today.
It's alright, the flame doesn't need access to black to know the flame is the champ. Even when the flame is down, the flame is really ahead.
Oh my goodness. All right. We have the confidence. You love to see it.
A Hawaiian shirt.
The flame breathes and exudes confidence. That's the flame's power. He's always confident.
You know, I have mad respect for that. I'm not gonna lie.
The flame
All
also
right.
got the memo to wear Hawaiian today.
Yeah, there's the Hawaiian shirts. Exactly. Styling. All right.
It's like
Good.
winter where I'm living. Like you guys got white shirts and like sunglasses.
Yeah, no, it's cold for it's cold for us too. But yeah, it's all the more reason to kind of think tropical and just try to put your head in that kind of a space.
You
Anyway,
know, it's always summer in Canada.
Yeah, somewhere in Canada.
I don't know that that's true. Anyway, so
Big country.
so black is probably the strongest color in standard right now.
Yeah.
You could argue that white is up there too. They're both very, very good. And you've had the good fortune of being able to play with white throughout the majority of this throughout this entire competition, which has ended up working out, not as well as anticipated, but the brews have been great, if I may say. And
I'm impressed.
I gotta say, even though you're only rocking a half a point right now, you haven't been putting up excellent fights week in and week out. So,
I appreciate that. I mean, like,
it's true. It's absolutely true.
despite like the games not having gone as I wanted, I mean, I got the form Mech Titan. I got to play in a bunch of little 1/1s with the World Tree. I got to drop in dragons last week. Like, I'm okay. Like, it's not about the points.
No, this has been a great competition, and you've been putting up some phenomenal shows for us. So, in brewing a deck where you have access to everything else except black, what was your thought process going into this, or what did you want to build around?
So, you know, I was thinking dragons, obviously, because, like, it's me. You know? I'm looking at, like, I got blue. I can play Zergo and Ojutai. I can have Wraith. We can do more invasions, because invasion is just great. And then last night, about 8 o'clock, p.m., deck lists are soon due, and I'm like, what if I, like, pivoted and went to, like, a +1/+1 strategy with Agatha Soul Cauldron and the Voldaren Thrillseeker and completely change my deck in a different direction, and then make a new deck 30 minutes before it's due. and that's what I did.
It just hit you.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong?
So the audible though.
This is 4-color +1/+1 with Pia Noir and Rocco to play stuff from Exile to build an army of Thopters. That Virtue of Loyalty is then going to buff up, but with that, I'm playing Ozolith the Shattered Spire, adding in an Elusive Otter that I can then choose to buff the entire board and make the Otter bigger with the +1/+1 so it can't be drawn. And use the Thrillseeker with the Cauldron to just give everything the ability to fling itself. On top of that, if there's an annoying creature, because wait, there's always more, I have the Voldalian Mindsinger, where I can steal creatures and then fling my opponent's creature at them.
Everybody in chat, remember this? Remember this card? This card came out not too long ago. This is Dominaria United. And if you ever wonder why is Shelter of the Apocalypse so expensive? Well, it's because if you're opening Dominaria United, if you don't open Sheldred, you open rares like this. Anyway,
That's basically it.
So Voldaren Mindsinger, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm not reading this for the second time this year. It is a 2/2 for 3, 1 blue, with kicker 1 in a red and kicker 1 in a green. Yeah. It enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each time it was kicked, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain control of a target creature with power less than the Mindsinger's power for as long as you control the Mindsinger. So it basically is kind of like the Mind Flayer from AFR. Yep. It's similar to that, whereas with Mind Flayer, it was just 5 mana, you just took a thing. This time, you have some hoops to jump through, you have some colors, and you have restrictions as to how big the thing is you can get. And if you want to get full value off it, you're going to get a 6/6 that can steal something with 5 or less power, but it costs you 7 to do so. So, I don't know. The upside is definitely there, especially if you're rocking the Thrillseeker, and there's a decent chance you're going to fling whatever you steal back at your opponent. This seems pretty good.
This is the spiciest meatball. I just hope it all falls together and nice.
Right? Yeah.
I do too. I made it in 30 minutes. We're going to find out.
30 minutes. Oh my gosh, you're the first one to use a basic land.
Yes, I have a basic. I always play at least one basic.
The one mountain. Let's go. You'll love to see it. And actually, notably, you don't have any tri-lands in here either. You've got some fast lands. You've got the slow lands, which are phenomenal land cycles, to be fair. But that's an interesting choice. Definitely definitely a low curve. So you got a lot of the fast lands. Makes sense. And some pain lands for good measure. So this is interesting.
Why the mountain? I gotta ask.
My primary color is red, and I have a lot of cards that either have the 2 Pip in red or
All
Nita
right,
red, so
all
the
right.
single mountain helps to hit that.
I hope
And
That
as
makes
long
sense.
as it's worth it.
Triomes, I found the Triomes too slow when I was building the deck. I mean, granted, 30 minutes, right? But like when I looked at it, it was like, I want to do turn 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to take a turn off. I either want to play an otter, play a disc, cast PNLR ideally, or a questing druid, or an Ozolith on 2. Like my curve feels important, and I don't want to tap land. So
That makes
I was
sense.
like, all the fast lands, bit of pain, primary colors, a single mountain, and go at it.
So after extensive deck testing of about 30 seconds in your brain,
Yep, that's about it.
Rocco, you're going exile with questing druid. This thing's gonna fly, and it's good to see adventure here as well. This deck is all over the place. I don't know how to combat it, let alone pilot the darn thing. So let's roll with this one.
Well, and to be fair, too, I'm realizing the curve stops at 3, effectively. I mean, yeah, there's the virtual loyalty at 5, but you can play out the Ardenvale Fealty at 2, and you've gotten value from the card. So if you don't get to 5, that's fine. You know, it's not that big of a deal. And I mean, obviously, the Elusive Otter also has the X in Grove's Bounty, so that could get huge if need be. But yeah, having everything cheap, and that also really helps with cards like Ren's Resolve. If you're casting stuff from exile, don't have big fatties in your deck. Is generally, you know, because there's nothing worse than going into turn 6, casting a Ren's Resolve, then exiling like an 8-drop and not having the mana for it. Like, that really hurts. So you definitely want to, you know, having everything castable at, you know, 3 or lower. All of a sudden, Ren's Resolve, you're going to be able to get value off of it pretty much every time. And then, yeah, Rocco and Pia, you know, this is a package I've seen other people tinker with, and man, when it starts going, it goes. So this is gonna be interesting. I dig it.
Awesome. All right, and sideboard is man. I don't know.
I mean, the sideboard's what I went through. Like I got Lithomanics, I got Destroy Evils, Obliterating Bolts, and Extra Cauldron. Broken Wings, because that like saves my life apparently.
Yeah. Broken Wings, it's a shocker, man. And it's one of those cards that everybody writes off. It's that draft common that you know pick up if you're drafting best of 3, but otherwise you never touch. And man, when it hits though, artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, that hits a lot of stuff. It hits a lot of stuff. Anyway.
All right, Astrals.
And of course, there is the one. We do have to acknowledge there is an AO in the sideboard. So there is one dragon in the 75. We have a dragon in the 75. Don't worry about it.
My favorite dragon too. So
AO is pretty good.
Yeah. Is pretty dope. All right.
We're gonna send you back here, Astrals. What do you have to say for the most important moment of my life, let alone this deck's debut and possibly the first time piloting? I imagine.
It is the first time being piloted. The flame doesn't matter how a deck is made or piloted. What matters is the flame's heart inside and believing in the flame self. And the flame believes that Damien is going down. Down with the flame for a nice double-double because we're going to celebrate a really good match.
You know, and I love how the flame is just so much intensity.
I love it.
I just the coolest dude. Anyway. You love to see it. Very charitable. All right, so this is gonna be fun.
Terms, Australs, touch gloves, and enter an arena versus Damien F16.
The flame accepts.
All right. So with that, we are going to be getting into some gameplay action. We are going to be watching the festivities, starting with Damien. We're going to be watching from Damien's perspective. He's going to be the protagonist for this battle, if you will.
So,
at least for game 1. I'm sure we'll mix it up.
Hammer, you
and here we go.
When Australs debuted his deck, it's like when Homer Simpson debuted his ideal car on The Simpsons. And I felt that reaction. It looks so goofy, but I can't wait to find it.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
To be fair, if you do press on Astral's deck, it does play La Cucaracha.
Thank you for knowing that.
Yeah, I got you. The Homer. Oh, yeah. I grew up watching The Simpsons. Was that a wise choice, maybe, for a developing mind? Maybe not, but I loved it.
Same with this deck. Here we go.
All right, so here we go. So yeah, Astral's starting off with the questing druid right on the field, not going for any kind of spells. Damien is going to be leading off with the scavenger rather, with the Hidetsugu and the planner incision in hand. Not to mention the corrupted conviction. So that is going to give Damien some control over when this Hidetsugu and Kairi triggers. So if he finds the explosive singularity soon, then Astrals might be in trouble really fast. But Astros is already swinging. The Virtue creating the token, buffing the Druid. Oh, but Astros going to the end step while missing a land drop. That hurts.
We're already.
Yep, and here comes the Go for the Throat. One of the best cards in Standard right now. Just sees a ton of play for good reason.
Go for Charlie.
Yep.
He's
And
he's gonna eat.
yep, Scrap Cordier is gonna get an oil counter and Showdown on.
Turn 4 Kyrie here, right? No, no. Yep, it is.
Sure is.
We got
Turn
the
4
right
Hidetsugu and
hands.
Kyrie. Now, notably, Damien does not have any of the gigantic sorceries in hand just yet. Astros has a pause. Do we have... Here's the Destroy Evil, popping Hidetsugu and Kyrie.
Now, what is it? Oh my god!
What? The blind explosive singularity off the top.
Astrals, the 2, wow!
There are 3 copies of Explosive Singularity in Damien's deck. The chances of that happening were like 3 in 49, 50? Like, no, 51, I think. Anyway, what?
100% apparently. Oh my! Okay, so that's what happened. So that's what
That couldn't have fired better. That was just RNG, baby. Yeah. So in that situation, the way that Damien wanted that to play out is to get the Hidetsugu and Kyrie trigger, draw 3 cards, hope the Singularity was one of them, and then tee it up so that is on top. Astros understood that interaction and blew up Hidetsugu and Kyrie prior to the card being drawn and prior to Damien being able to set it correctly. But it just so happened to be there. Oh my goodness.
He had
Like
2 land and a funeral.
Astrals played that perfectly and timed that removal spell exactly right in order to minimize the potential that Damien had to tee it up and like dial it in correctly. It just happened to line up perfectly. That was wow. I don't think I've ever seen that.
All right, let's not push the red button this time.
No. Yeah, that's an easy mulligan if you're Damien. I'm still watching from Damien's perspective. Holy cow, that was a quick game. All right.
He's keeping it.
He's gonna keep the one-lander, Rockfall Veil. Let's go.
If he eats a land, something's fishy here.
Yep, that's how it goes though. You start with the one-lander and then draw a 7-drop. That's usually how it goes.
Get him in cahoots here.
Oh my god. Ren's Resolve from Astral's side.
Oh my gosh, Damien, you don't.
There is the land. It is a tapped land, unfortunately for Damien, so he can't rock out those 2-drop dorks just yet.
If he gets a black source, I'm gonna giggle.
All right, so Astral's now
Otter
playing on
pop.
the Elusive Otter. Okay. Now, getting the...
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
There's the
man.
Virtue being cast off the Ren's Resolve.
Immediately with the scrap gorger here.
Yep. No hesitation.
No.
Getting the Scrap Gorger down, which notably is the black source right now. That is all Damien has.
Oh man.
Ooh, Obliterating Bolt coming in from Astral's sideboard, gonna answer that Scrap Gorger. And at this point, Damien's missed 2 land drops. That is clutch. Or missed 8 land drops so far.
Land. There it is.
There it is. And it's a black source. All right, here comes the Llanowar Loam Speaker. Underground River staying open, so the Corrupted Conviction can come out if need be. Pia Nalar.
Mama Pia. Uh-oh.
Yep. So Astral's deck is doing the thing.
He's doing it.
All right, and the
Now
Questing
he's
Druid is...
locking like Justin Bieber on his 3rd encore.
So here we go, and the Ren's Resolve finds, or the Questing Druid rather finds 2. No, that is what was. Wait, what? Anyway, we have 2 Ren's Resolves in the. Yeah, it was a Questing Druid. Got it. Ooh, the Explosive Singularity without a Hidetsugu in sight. That is not ideal. All right. So Pia Nalar is a fantastic card. She does have one weakness. She does in fact have a throat. So here we are. All right, and then Astral's, you'll also notice the Elusive Otter. The Elusive Otter has a very unique evasion ability. It has the reverse skulk.
Backward skulk, yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, it's unskulk, if you will. Here's another Ren's Resolve. Okay, this is the 3rd one that we've seen. The other 2 got exiled last turn to no benefit. But there's a land and the Virtue, which... Or no, the question... Which one is... I'm having a tough time keeping track of which ones are...
yeah. It's,
which ones are off the Resolve, but anyway.
Oh, the token.
Here we go. So the Virtue's coming on down. We have a double swing.
Otter.
Yep, I think that's exactly right.
Otter pop.
Otter pops. So there we go.
Oh, land, Damien, don't you dare.
So yes, there's the Takanuma. Could play out the Flesh Gorger. Nothing wrong with that.
Sparky's cousin Auto Tapper is trying to get Damien, it looks like. Not today.
Exactly. Not today. All right, now that Explosive Singularity in Damien's hand is a huge bummer. However, Hidetsugu and Kairi does allow Damien to set that on top of the deck. And with Corrupted Conviction, Damien would be able to set a stop on the upkeep and sacrifice Hidetsugu and Kairi before drawing a card.
Or we're just going to draw into the
or just
Explosive Singularity eventually. He's got 2 more land.
Here we go. So now Damien has a lot of options ahead of him. It's getting awkward now, especially with that Virtue of Loyalty on the other side of the board. So if I'm Damien, I'm seriously considering just sacrificing the Loam Speaker here to the Corrupted Conviction just to see more cards.
Or a land like the special land, the channel land, Hatsuga, how do we say that?
Takenuma?
Make that into a creature.
Yeah, animate Takenuma. Yeah, given how important the black sources are to Damien, I wouldn't want to risk one of those. I'd probably go with one of the Rockfall Veils. That's my thought as well.
There you go.
Yeah, and so we have an attack here that can deal 6 damage, or take out one of these knights, which is exactly what's going to happen.
With a 3/3 token. This is new.
Man, hey, you know.
You guys didn't hear about that card?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, when people are talking about land destruction, I don't hear anybody mentioning how toxic Landwar Loam Speaker is. Come on, people. Anyway, sorry. All right, so here we go. The 2 Corrupted Convictions in hand are good, but Damien's creatures are not particularly expendable right now. Ooh, we have the Questing Druid into the wedding announcement. Astrals is setting up. This is looking good.
Oh.
It's got Vigilance. You might as well. And with the Virtue, everything has pseudo-Vigilance anyway.
I guess I would sacrifice a Flesh Gorger here.
You think?
Yeah, try and get Hatsuga.
I mean, you need to dig, right? There's no question. You gotta dig.
You got 3 dead cards in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that wouldn't be a problem if you're ahead on board. And unfortunately, Damien is not at this point.
Yeah. Oh, apparently he wants to sacrifice second new one now.
Hey, there we go. Yeah.
There she goes.
That was clever. So sure enough, animating Takenuma, being able to sacrifice it. That plan. Okay. Planner Incision with the Flesh Gorger live. That is no joke right there.
This is gonna be a gash. It's gonna be like a serrating. Oh man.
Yeah, that Flesh Gorger is about to get gigantic before Damien's next turn. Now Damien's gonna time it. Damien's gonna slow roll it. And notably, with Planner Incision, these effects that blink creatures out, they time differently depending on what you're working with. And Planner Incision, the creature returns immediately. And so if Astrals attacks here, before blockers, Damien can blink the Flesh Gorger, have an 8/6 untapped lifelinker, soak up the biggest creature coming through, and gain 8 life.
Slowly tiptoeing the mana for Explosive Singularity.
Right? Yeah, who knows? We might see a hardcast Explosive Singularity in this game. Which, I never expect to see it, but I'm never mad when I do.
Well, I didn't expect a triple breach from Damien last week, but he sure did it.
He sure did it. Yep.
Triple breach, 1,080,000 card deck. I don't doubt this guy for a second.
It's wild. It's wild. Now, notably though, Astrals did find that Destroy Evil.
Oh.
Which, to be fair, would still Astrals would still have to pay 8 life on the ward. And so Damien decides, you know what? Worth it. Let's go.
After he targets and pays 8 life, Damien might be drawing 2 cards.
It's possible. Yep.
Down to 3.
So there's the Destroy Evil. Damien. Let him pay. Yep. Astrals pays for it. And then Pia triggers because that Destroy Evil was cast from exile.
Right,
and now, the Flesh Gorger is going to be sacrificed. This is all before blockers.
Oh, it's 9 of mana. Is it?
Oh, Breach. Breach is nice, but is it nice enough? I don't think so. Yep. Now, if the Hidetsugu shows up now...
That's game.
That's game, yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
1 mana.
That was so close. Yeah, 1 mana behind. And,
dude.
Well, and that's assuming the Breach was going to find Hidetsugu and Kairi, which is likely, to be fair, but... Yeah.
I mean,
Well, but even then, Hidetsugu and Kairi hits the board, and I think Astral still has a lethal attack. And so actually, Damien would have to reanimate the Flesh Gorge.
yeah, the
Yeah,
sacrifice.
but
Yeah, wow.
Oh, but even then, now I'm thinking things through. Yeah, Astral's had that either way, unfortunately. For Damien, that is.
Astrals here cannot do what he did game 1.
It's definitely fortunate for us, because that means we get a game 3, everybody.
I mean,
Let's go.
Game one was a bold strategy for Astral. Let's see how it pays off.
Exactly. All right, so let's watch game 3 from Astral's perspective. Yeah. So game 1, RNG was just like, hey, Damien, here's a win, dog. Have some fun. Which, to be fair, can happen sometimes when you're playing Hidetsugu and Kairi, right? It was just off the top, rip.
Oh, my.
That was that. And here we go.
His reaction, though, I got to hear this.
Yeah, the post-game.
Yeah, well, that happens. Yeah.
Post-fight interview is going to be good on this one. All right, cool. So let's see. Astral's looking at that broken wings, and I bet wishing it was an exile effect.
All games have gone in game 3 so far.
Yep. Notably, never mind. I was about to say, I thought Torch the Tower might actually be a really good addition here. However, Torch the Tower, because it exiles. Actually, wait a minute. I think that actually still would have worked. Let me take a look at this. So, Torch the Tower is in Astral's sideboard. He did not bring it in. The reason that I mention it, if a permanent dealt damage by Torch the Tower would die this turn, exile it instead. So if the Hidetsugu and Kairi is in a position in combat, or if it's targeted by a kill spell,
does not
if you tap it with Torch the Tower on the way out, you would deny the death trigger. That seems pretty cool to me. I don't know.
Go.
All right, so here we go. Copperland Gorge coming out on 2. Questing Druid.
Not choosing to do Gobakabak, the Battle Siege.
The invasion of Gobakan.
Gobakabak.
Oof. Llanowar, Green Widow. Notably just dodging the Destroy Evil with that 3 toughness.
Gobakabak.
Gobakabak coming on in. Now, if I'm Astrals, I know exactly what I'm taking. It's not even close. And Astrals disagrees. I would have exiled the Explosive Singularity.
Me too.
Yeah, you get the Singularity out of Damien's hand. It just becomes a non-issue. Because, in order for that combo to work, you need to have it. You need to have the Singularity in hand for Hidetsugu to lock it on top of the deck. So if it's exiled, you can't do that. Yeah. All right, so here comes Pia. Buff up.
Pia. Swinging on Gobakabak Battle Siege, I imagine.
100%.
Another audible's called.
Bam. And this is when you flip these spells, they are being cast from exile.
Yeah, popping.
Trigger. Here we go. We got the Thops. And here comes we're going to sacrifice the Mistress Foundry. Astrals has not played his land yet this turn. So looking for that.
There it goes.
There it is. That's a Sea-Chrome Coast, baby.
Let's go.
Ender's tap, but we got more Thops.
No, everything is bigger. That swung.
Light Shield is live. This is looking good. This is looking real good.
All right. Go wrong if we've seen game 1 though at any given second.
Exactly. So Restless Cottage is going to get rid of the Mistress Research desk out of Astral's graveyard, so it can no longer be unearthed. That is huge. We got a Thopter. Going to go ahead and block the cottage. Damien is seeing the writing on the wall here. This is not looking great because at this point, Damien needs to apply pressure fast.
The land.
Oh, there's a land and the wedding announcement.
Fast or once? Either fast or once.
Now, that wedding announcement is gone because the way the Questing Druid works, you're only able to do it
everything is bigger.
On your turn.
Buff squad.
But at this point, this is looking pretty savage.
Choosing to destroy enchantment, I believe.
Probably.
There.
Going after the Thopter, which is going to force... Well, Astra's going to let the Thopter go, but instead...
He's still got the loyalty, I imagine he's thinking.
Right. All right, so here we go.
It really comes down to it, and is this it?
Druids are getting swole. We have a full send. Block here.
We got 1 again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
1 HP in a dream.
He can carry and sack carry and win.
Oh, Damien scooping off the Painland. That is a lovely way to scoop.
Damien, you're holding it the wrong way.
Yep, well played. Holy cow, Astral's bringing it home. You love to see it.
Takes the lead above Mojo.
All right, so let's see. So Astrals now has a 1.5. Yep, that's what. Yeah, Mojo, you're rocking the 1 point right now. So here we are.
Rocking the bottom of the boat.
Hey, it's all good, man. All good.
Oh, jeez. All right, guys.
Good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and grab Damien, get him back in here for a little post-fight interview action. All right. Good stuff. And now, by the way, everybody, if you want to see Damien's Hidetsugu and Kairi deck, or if you want to see Mojoe's Mojoe's Goyf Thud deck come back again for a redemption round, you do have an opportunity. In just a little bit, we are going to be launching a poll asking you, dear viewer, at home right now, watching this Twitch feed, who you want to see come back for that redemption fight.
If you have feelings, this hammer.
If you have feelings, thoughts, impressions, ideas for that, you will get an opportunity to have your voice be heard, and you will determine who battles Numbskull here in the wildcard round.
Get your votes.
Get your votes in just a moment. But first, let's have a chat with our combatants there about that match. So, Damien,
game 1, what was your reaction? I gotta know.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I just started laughing. I mean, I burst out laughing.
We did too.
Whenever somebody kills your Hidetsugu Kairi, you're like, well, there's a not zero chance that you just lose. That's the crazy thing about that card. And then, of course, the blind flip. Like, I was just like, oh my god.
Man.
I felt bad. And so, game 2, I mulliganed to 6, and I had a 1-lander, and I was just like, you know what, screw it. I don't care what happens here. That's not an excuse for losing. The game ended up drawing lands, and it still ended up getting played out and stuff. But I was kind of like, if I lose this, I feel like the first game was stupid. Let's just have a real game. I'll lose this. Let's go to game 3. And then game 3, I didn't have. I had the explosive singularity. Then I drew the second explosive singularity, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I lose. That's the problem with playing these kind of decks, right? So, you draw the giant 10-mana spell. Anyway, I got to do it once by accident.
Yeah, you got to do it. I turned 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild too, because Astrals timed it perfectly. You know, he timed that kill spell absolutely perfectly to minimize the chance of that exact thing happening.
Of course. If you ever have the option, do it before they brainstorm.
Always.
Shit, yeah.
Always.
But,
yeah.
You know,
That's awesome. A lot I've realized, making the right play. Blowing up literally in his face.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, even if you make the right play, that card can just randomly still win the game for the opponent. So you're taking a chance no matter what. Only exile is really safe removal against that guy, right? Anyway, that was fun, but I wish we could have seen more of the deck, doing the drawing and filtering and all that stuff. It's got some interesting stuff going on, but when he had the destroy evil, he found off whatever that random exile spell, I can't remember what it's called. Like exile 2 cards, pick 1 or something, put it, and it was destroy evil, and I'm like, because when I sacked my land to draw 2, and I'm like, planar incision, oh my god, I'm gonna gain a lot of life here. This is gonna be putting him in a weird spot. But then he drew destroy evil, and I'm like, there's no way to. I can make him pay 8 and hope I draw, something to finish him. But yeah, no.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
but when we saw that hesitation, we could you're kind of doing the sequence. It's like, this is gonna hurt, but that ward is not nothing. So yeah, I think it was the right call, but yeah.
You still do it. You
100%.
But GG's, and Astrals played well, and so
all right.
what happens now? There's no color drawing. What?
No, correct. We don't have a color drawing, but we are going to go ahead and we're going to have a chat with Astrals, and then we're going to set up the redemption vote. And so, yes, actually, the two gentlemen who are here with me on screen might be coming back, depending on your votes, everybody. So, Damien, you might be coming.
Don't vote for me. Vote for Mojoe. I don't want to. It's okay. Let them play. I don't. Okay. Please don't vote for me. That's my slogan.
I feel like that when I do drafts. I'm like, this draft's gonna be awesome. And in the second game, like, I hate this. I just want to quit now.
This is my secret. I was class president in grade 9 in high school, and one of the reasons I won because I literally was like, people nominate, and then I'm like, I don't want you to vote for me. Don't vote for me, and it became a big inside joke. Like this has happened before. But,
that's hilarious. All right, well,
please don't.
Okay.
Don't do it. Seriously, no. It's just not funny. No. You're not being cute. Vote for Mojoe. His deck is more interesting than mine. Do you want to see a turn, 3 ending game like we did game 1? No. So the decision is easy.
Oh man. Well, that was beautifully done, man. super fun.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that very explosive deck with us. And let's go ahead and let's bring Astrals on in. All right, later, Damien. All right, Astrals, are you there, my friend?
He is.
Check, check.
Hello.
Mr.
Hello,
Place
hello.
above me now.
The flame knew the outcome from the start.
We thought we
All
had
right.
something here. He's taped
So,
up.
we have to ask. We have to ask.
What was your reaction? I gotta know.
Game one. What was?
I'm like, all right. He did Secret Sound. Cool. Tapped out. This is fantastic. I'll respond to it perfectly. I have the perfect draw. I like the best answer.
I'm crying.
Just,
Yeah, because from your perspective, if you let the brainstorm resolve, then like, all right, if there's a singularity in the hand or in the top 3 cards,
Absolutely.
like,
yeah,
but if
then I'm
you
just dead.
you timed it perfectly. That's the thing. I gotta give you credit. You timed it absolutely perfectly to minimize the chances of that happening.
man.
But it happened.
That tickled me.
I was just like if there was ever a place for it to happen, I'd like it to happen here because like it's Fight Club. Anything should happen on the leaky boat, right? Like
100%.
I was just I was like, oh, like really, but also like Damien, like really, and then it was like Damien, like Damien, like really. That was
Yeah,
just,
no, you got it. Yeah, well done. Exactly.
Oh, man. 100%
Fun, explosive-
chance.
Yep, 100. Yeah, super fun.
45 cards.
Explosive combo decks can do that. But yeah, well done getting the exile thing moving. One choice that you made in 2 of those games that I do want to call out as being really smart given the board state that I think a lot of people would not do in that same position. You played out the Questing Druid as a creature without activating its adventure. I think a lot of people assume, oh, I must use the adventure first because I'm not going to get access to the creature. Whereas that particular one, and actually Mosswood Dread Knight is similar. I think oftentimes it is correct to play the creature out first, even though you don't get access to the adventure yet. But in the case of Questing Druid, you knew I need to apply pressure, I need to get aggressive, I need to establish myself as the beatdown. And that was a tool to help you do that. And I think that was absolutely correct.
Yes.
So, yeah, good stuff. Anyway,
Thank you. Yeah, like honestly, when I saw like Questing Druid in hand, I was like, all right, like I'm going for +1/+1 in synergy. I just want to get my board state. I can get a board established. I can deal with the little mana dorks and hopefully survive through like a Flesh Gorger and stuff. It's just like get a board, get either Pia rolling or Virtue rolling. And
Right,
or hopefully
absolutely.
Otter. And Otter did work. I was really happy with Otter.
absolutely. Yeah. So great stuff, man. Thank you for showing that
really
off.
great.
And
Yeah,
well done. Congrats on scoring a point here. You'll love to see it.
All right, guys.
All right.
Send
Well, yeah, we're gonna
Astrals
send it.
back
We're gonna send
to the
Astrals back to the
locker
locker room. Absolutely. And let's go ahead and
This is
Get
chat's
up
part
our-
to shine here, guys.
here we
Whatever
go,
you guys
everybody.
want.
Are you ready? The time has come. All right. We are gonna go ahead and set up a poll here. Give me just a moment. All right. Get a little ASMR action for everybody.
As Mister.
All right. And so we got Mojo on Goy Thud, or Damien on Explosive Singularity. I'll just call it Explosivo, because I think that's funny.
Explosivo.
Explosivo. You all know what I'm talking about. All right, that poll is going to be live for 3 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and fire it. Boom. There we go. So get your votes in now, everybody.
And while the
right.
votes are going in, we take this little time hammer if you would like to, and not enlighten, but just speak a moment on how much this show actually means to us and the people with it, and you guys at home.
100%, man. I'm more than happy to do just that. So this is our 3rd season of Fight Club. Mojo and I are friends, and we've had a lot of fun hanging out in each other's streams, giving each other a hard time, you know. And this is an opportunity for us to come together and put on a show for all of you. And it's a collaboration that I know I definitely value. And this is a really fun experience. We've been doing this for a little while. And every season, getting an opportunity to show off some of the talents who are here in the category that maybe you haven't heard of before is really our kind of, I don't know, it's just, there's something so rewarding and so fun about it. And let's be honest, it gives us an opportunity to hang out with some really cool people who maybe wouldn't have given us the time of day otherwise. So
Keeping
that's
the
really
gathering magical, one
Keeping it-
homebrew at a time, celebrate to
Absolutely.
the death for your viewing pleasures only.
100%. So yes, no, we really appreciate it. And thank you all, everybody, for tuning in and making this possible. We really do appreciate it.
Everybody.
I know, right? 100%.
Right
So,
now,
Mojo, did
the
you have any words you
vote
wanted to
is
share?
8 to Damien and 7 to Mojo, guys. It's neck and neck with half the time. Get your votes in.
Here we go. Yep, it is anybody's game. We still have some time left. So feel free to get those votes in if you are here on the Twitches. As I like to call it, the involuntary response app. It's a dumb joke, but it makes me happy. All right. Well, yeah. So good stuff. So definitely get those votes in post haste. And we will see who's going to be facing Numbskull in the redemption round. Now, you may note, wait a minute, wasn't Numbskull the redemption last week? If I'm recalling correctly, it was either last week or the week before. And yes, Numbskull has been the redemption before.
That confirmed. He just flew in, guys.
Yep. So we just had a scheduling challenge, and so we had to make it audible and adjust some things. Normally, we do try to give everybody a spot in the wild card round. This week, things just worked out a little bit differently, and we're just rolling with it. So that's what's going on there. So thank you, everybody, for understanding, and huge props.
Parachuting into the boat here.
Indeed.
Hopefully
yes.
he hits it. He's kind of flooding around up there. It's a bit windy.
But yeah, so huge thank you to all, and also just massive props and huge thank you to our fighters for being flexible and making it happen. Like,
Yes, guys.
yeah,
For that, go on.
For that game day change means a lot. Oh, dude, and it's all good. It's all good.
The security's a chimp. He's a chimpanzee.
I mean, it happens. Yeah, come on, monkey. What are you doing? Yeah. All right, perfect. So we have seconds left on the clock. Mojo with the Goyf Thud up 11 to Damien's 8. We have both fan clubs represented in chat. But it looks like Mojo's going to be taking this one down. We're going to get to see the return of the Goyf Thud.
Gosh.
All right.
Tribal.
Both decks, to be fair, are designed to deliver one huge explosive blast. Which, honestly, let's be honest, it's always a good time to see. So, all right. So, with that,
Mojo, chat said I need the points. Thanks for donating.
So, Mojo, do you have any words for the folks who believe in you, who want to see you back in the ring?
This time, I think, is this the first time I've been voted back? I'm not sure, but I appreciate it like it is. It's the very first time. So I'm gonna represent you guys, and I want at least one thud. One thud, guys. We're going for it.
Yes, we gotta see one thud.
And
We're burning together, baby.
You've beat me, I think, twice, right?
It's something like that. Yeah, he's. Actually, let me double check.
He beat me up through the windows. I put windows up. He ran through me.
Yeah, he sure did. Yep. That did happen. Can confirm.
I got hit kind of hard, so I can't confirm. All right,
I believe that was the only time you guys have faced this tournament. If I'm not mistaken.
Are we ready to bring in the main event?
The main event, the myth, the man, the legend.
The mythic.
Bringing in Numbskull himself. All right.
Let's
do this thing.
Ass beater.
Hey, Numbskull, how's it going, man?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes,
we got you loud and clear. Yeah.
Welcome back to the boat family. So you made it through the parachute, everything?
Yeah, it was just security giving me a hard time. That new guy.
Yeah, you know, I know. Yeah, the new guy was just. I'm sure they always think they need to check the papers. Yeah, like it's okay, guys. Like you know,
he can't even read.
He says I wasn't tall enough to ride the ride. I was like, dude, chill.
That may be, but we make exceptions, okay?
Yeah, I was like, they said I'm cool, man. Relax.
Love it. Guy. Exactly. All right. So this week,
you are not red, right?
You are non-red. So you're
Everything
in the Atraxa
red,
colors,
yeah.
as we know them. Mm-hmm. So what was your thought going into this? What were you thinking when you were forced? Forced. Yes. No, we did force you. We totally forced you to build this deck.
You did, but
I did. Yep. Nope. 100%.
I obliged.
You did, and we appreciate that.
I wanted to keep the Convoke thing going, and I thought that I would throw a dinosaur in there because I have green now.
Because why not? Yeah.
Because there's a Convoke dinosaur that has trample.
Oh no!
There sure is.
I figured that gave me access to a new bomb, and then there's a beast that gives everything haste.
So you're going wide.
So
I mean,
chat, what have you done to me?
All right, and let's go ahead and crack this sucker open. Let's see what we're talking about here. So you mentioned Convoke Dinosaur. Folks at home probably know what's going on here in Ancient Imperiosaur, and you have 4 of them. Let's go.
I'm so done, dude. Why, dude?
I love this. I love this so much. And again, we have the invasion of Segovia. I love how you have just locked on to this
Segovia
card.
carries,
It's a beautiful
bro.
card.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm in a tiger's cage, and Hammock's just like, I'm loving this so much.
This is the best. This is gonna be so much fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Just play dead.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So yeah. So clearly, I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of human synergy with Catilda, wedding announcement, sunset revelry, and then you've got your Chrome Host Seed Sharks and your Vision of Segovias, which have been kind of a staple for you throughout this tournament. And boy, howdy, they've been putting in some work. So I think this is going to be interesting to see. And then, yeah, sure enough, you've got a really solid Convoke package with those early tokens. Even in Join the Dance, fantastic. And then the Ancient Imperator, we've all seen how big this thing can get super fast.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I love how its base is a 6/6 trample ward 2 for 7. But then if
Already
it's
good stats.
cheaper, it gets bigger.
Dude,
It's like, wait a minute.
He's symmetrical board wipe pretty much in here with Path of Peril. All my stuff's under 2, man.
Yeah, I figured just in case I had to like maybe blow up, maybe I could like blow up my own stuff and some smaller stuff, and then keep some of these big boys out and go for a swing, see what happens.
No, so have you even seen my deck yet? I think you just came in.
No,
here,
I think
but
I was
you're
driving. Sorry,
Yeah.
not driving. I was on the helicopter.
playing.
Yeah, on the way to the boat, of course. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. And they didn't have good. The helicopter didn't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't watch.
Oh, we're gonna have to upgrade that
Helicopter,
for-
guys. It's got wheels
Yeah.
in that. Like,
Hey, helicopters can totally be, airborne while being held together with duct tape. Okay, it is okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine.
yeah.
We talked to a number of aircraft mechanics. It's okay.
I'm living proof.
Exactly. Yeah, no issues. Check it out. So this is interesting, and yeah, sure enough, Path of Peril is going to be interesting because Mojoe's deck is interesting. It's very interesting. So Mojoe's running a self-mill package with a lot of cheap creatures, and then the Somniphage, Urborg, Lurgoyf, and Old Stickfingers. So it is
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
interesting, he said.
It is very interesting. This is going to be a cool
I'm
matchup.
interested.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very much looking forward to it. I also want to point out this is going to be the second match that Mojoe has played today, and this is the second match in which Mojoe has faced Lord Skidder, the Sewer King.
Skitter. He's here. And
He's
he
here.
makes 1/1s that can convoke.
Yeah,
Sure
apparently
does.
I missed the Hawaiian shirt memo to it.
There's a- yeah, that's why it's around.
shirt.
Oh, I didn't bring mine. My bad, dude.
That's
all
all right.
good.
It's all right.
Flew out on the helicopter.
Good stuff. But yeah, and so I'm noticing, we got cards like Bushwhack, Sunset Revelry, a lot of good stuff to make sure that those early turns are productive. And then I'm also seeing a couple of cards in the sideboard. I see Witness Protection. When you have access to so many different colors, I find it really interesting that you're still rocking Witness Protection as key removal here.
Have to.
I mean, it's pretty solid. And then, we also have Tameo Safekeeping, another Bushwhack in the side. Arcfiend of the Dross as a 1/of in the side in addition to the 2 in the main. That's pretty interesting. That card is real good.
I love it.
Yeah, is there anything else you want that you want to call out while we're here?
I think it was just kind of like a greatest hits from the last few weeks.
Greatest
hit.
The best of album.
Yeah,
That's
it's just like
formally
this is like
known
this
as.
is like the all-star game, if you will.
I love it.
We got our asinine antics, and with my with my terrible loss last week, I had to deal with some flyers, so I figured I would have Archfiend in there to just in case I was up against a deck that had flyers. Not to mention Path of Peril. When you have a bunch of small creatures out with Archfiend out is really fun too. So it's like a little hidden combo action. Then Asinine Antics in case creatures get too big. And then the Edict in case I saw any Planeswalkers. And then just kind of adding another one of each of some of the other spells that I thought might be useful, but I didn't want to fully commit to like 3 or 4 of them.
Sure. Very cool. Yeah, that's where, like a third Lord Skidder, a third Archfiend, that kind of thing. Yeah, that makes sense. If they're especially good at that matchup, you can kind of beef them up a little bit. Yeah, nice. I dig it.
And the
All right,
only
good
thing
stuff,
that I've never
Oh no.
made a deck that was 4 colors seriously before.
Yep.
So I was a little
Sure.
stumped on the mana base. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the
So I
beauty
apologize.
of beauty of
Apologize
fight
if it's-
man.
Yeah, it definitely challenged me, and so I apologize if it's not the most professional looking mana base. I tried.
Hey, you know what? I see a ton of duels. I think
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
That's really
I only had to burn 1 wild card, so that was cool.
nice. Well, and I also really like having bushwhack in the main.
Yeah.
Then because you
Basics
have a
of
lot of
everything.
ways to produce green, and you have a few basics. At least one basic of every color. So
Yeah.
whatever you need based on your hand, you can just go find it. And if you draw it late in the game, it can be a fight spell where you're
Yeah.
your 16/16 Imperious or can just eat whatever Mojo has, right?
I figured that would be good with trample.
Agreed.
Having it fight something, clear the path a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bushwhack
Absolutely.
isn't as scary across the board without Obliterator.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where it really
Obliterator
gets
would've
gross.
been
Yeah.
so tough.
Thank you.
Would've
for
been so
that
tough
tweet,
to-
Natalie.
So like handle that in the mana 4 color
Ex-
deck.
Yeah.
Bushwhack,
Yeah. For
Obliterator
black.
on like a
woof.
14 power creature of mine. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're running Obliterator, your mana base, and as you really need to
Yeah.
lead really hard black because you need
Yeah.
almost all of your lands to be able to produce black. If you're gonna
Yeah.
do it. So
It would have been
Yeah,
like
I get-
Obliterator and Bushwhack and Shark and Wedding
my gosh,
Announcement,
you
and then that's
geniuses.
probably it. You know what I mean?
I
mhm.
love
Yeah.
it for the 5-color showdown.
But this is
yeah.
interesting. This is looking good. This is
Oh,
looking like a
no.
rock solid mid-range token strat. I like it.
When
right.
this happens, it's all your fault.
Okay, I will accept that.
All right, good. All right, you ready to send me
I
back
did
to
this.
Garfield, my brother?
Let's do it, bro.
All right,
Don't go back to Garfield.
sick.
Touch glove,
All right.
guys.
Boom, we're doing it. All right, cool. And so with that, we are going to go ahead and send these competitors back to the locker room. And I'm going to need another guest commentator. So I am hoping that Astrals is still available to step into the booth. And let's do this thing. All right. Boom, boom. It would help if I get back to the game proper. Perfect. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and watch this stream from Numbskull's perspective.
From
And Astrals?
Numbskull. Hello.
How are we doing? Sorry, everybody. Looking at my Discord. Yeah, here
I'm
we go.
toasty.
Toasty? Is that good?
Toasty. Well, I'm a little singed still for the explosive singularity. It hasn't cooled off yet.
That's fair. That was one of the most explosive single. I don't know. That was the wildest game. And knowing Damien too, I'm just like everyone knew how ridiculous that was. Like he's even going to be the first one to acknowledge that was silly. And anyway, all right. So here we are. So Numbskull on the play, leading off with a brushland.
I mean, like Numbskull's got his colors saved for blues, so the Chromos T-shirts don't exactly play like ability to be played yet, but
Right.
getting a card draw off the singular, like the Sunset Revelry, doesn't feel bad, and without wedding announcement wrong with it.
And
I'm not,
additionally, taking the pain from the pain land meant that he gained the 4 life. So it was a
Actually,
net positive. Kind of brilliant.
I dig it, and honestly, like the mana seems to be curving out. If we get a blue source, we got Seed Shark. If we've got a
That's
green
it.
source, we've got Oddity. Otherwise, like another wedding announcement doesn't feel bad.
Yeah, settling for a wedding announcement feels just fine here. All right, there's the blue source, sure enough. So
And-
yeah, the option to rock out a Seed Shark presents itself, and Numbskull does not hesitate. All right,
Big fan for that, and the board state's built in.
here we go. Yeah, Seed Shark's looking pretty good. I'm very interested to see if Numbskull can find another land here.
I
Because
would,
a Seed Shark into a Join the Dance would be silly. Now,
Extremely.
now those Undead Butlers, given the density of creatures in Mojo's deck, he was able to get a 7/7 Somnophage live this turn.
It was a 2/2 when it started.
And 2 really strong mills, and here we are.
Yo, the sad thing about one of those mills though, like I saw the Calisol sword, so that's one of 2 ways Mojo wants to clear out this game. So milling one is not so great, especially with the board of blockers that Numbskull currently has right now. And it's not even a tiny board. Like we got 2/2s and 3/5s that fly.
Right. Yeah, so now we have, I mean, there's 6 damage in the air. Those little 2/2s can soak up some action. And on top of that, Numbskull is sitting on more token generation, not to mention the 2 Seed Sharks here. So,
Yeah.
and if Catilda comes down, Numbskull has creatures. And it's funny too, the Undead Butler swinging here. Mojoe is hoping that Numbskull would be the sacrifice outlet for those, and Numbskull's not having it.
It's not looking that way at all, but...
All right, so there's the Bushwhack, which could go grab up another green source to get the oddity closer anyway. Not online this turn, but soon.
But I think, like, we're looking for value here, and I'm respecting the play. Like, let's just make
Wedding
some
announcement?
1/1s. Wedding
Announcements clutch? Yep.
Then double incubate, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, this is gonna be
incubate.
more incubate. And then here's the forest. Playing a land for turn. So we have enough, and this is drawn. Oh, that is a killer draw.
Oh no, it's a Path of Peril.
Path of Peril is so good in this exact scenario because Mojoe's deck is made up almost exclusively of 2-drop creatures. And so that's absolutely savage. Meanwhile, on Numbskull's side, we have all these incubations and the Seed Sharks. Well, the Seed Sharks dodge the non-cleaved path just fine. And those incubator tokens aren't creatures yet, so they're fine too.
Yeah, like Numbskull's board is just looking protected here. Like, play a Path of Peril, clear Mojoe's board, and all you lose is a 2/2 token that you're probably going to sacrifice.
It's going to be blocking here anyway, right? Yeah.
Where's the downside? I love one-sided board wipes, don't you?
One-sided board wipes tend to be pretty good. And so Mojoe's gonna chill for a second. Caves of Koilos coming off the top. Nothing wrong with that. And here comes the path. All right, sure enough.
Oh,
and we get more incubates too. No big deal. Wow. Hello. Yep, Mojoe, I agree. All right, so here we go. Now, those Undead Butlers are going to trigger here. And so Mojoe is going to be able to restock the hand, which includes potentially getting that Somnophage back.
That's true.
Which could be pretty good.
And he grabs... Oh, that's right, the Cell Sword. Yeah.
Here we go.
It's not unreasonable to say that potentially Mojoe mills just the right amount of creatures to do a one-shot based on the amount of mana he's got.
It's possible.
It's close.
It is possible. But... All right. Let's see it. I can't imagine anything but the Somnophage, unless there's no stick fingers in there, which there might be to be.
There is.
There is. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Going for the Skyfisher Spider. That tells me that Mojoe probably has some flavor of Goyf in hand, either stick fingers or the Somnophage. Although if Mojoe has the Somnophage, he probably would have played it out last turn. But here we go. Seed Shark is going to be Seed Sharks are crashing in for 6 in the air. Looks like a dance shall be joined. Or perhaps not.
No, it's thinking about it. I mean, it's more incubation tokens. Like, no matter what, Numbskull just has this army ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Drawing more lands, there's nothing wrong with that too. And these pain lands aren't that big of an issue right now. Numbskull does have 18 life. That said, Mojoe is trying to establish, that one-shot kill. That's the goal. And so every point of life does help on that front. All right, let's see. How's Mojoe sequence this? So the spider is a potential or a very potent target to deal with those Seed Sharks. Because here, Mojoe could cast the spider, sacrifice the Loam Speaker, kill one of the sharks, and then the spider's going to be able to block the other shark next turn.
Yep.
And then also gain some life, assuming Mojoe survives combat. That's the big detail there. Because the Skyfisher Spider's ability is a triggered ability. In order for that to resolve, the owner of that ability needs to still be alive. I point that out because of how many incubation tokens are alive. And depending on how hard Numbskull commits to the attack, that might be it.
Yeah, it might just be because, like you said, the size of the incubation is what kind of matters here.
Mm-hmm. Now, so Mojoe is taking matters into his own hands here, killing off one of the humans and then also gaining 8 life. So that denies the, there's no block here. So now it forces Numbskull to basically just commit what's on board. I believe this is still going to be enough, though.
I think this is, it's pretty, yeah, it's got to be. That's 12.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's that. It's still enough. Holy cow.
Wow.
Those Seed Sharks, man. Those Seed Sharks have been working very well for Numbskull.
They have. The token strategy that Numbskull has been sticking consistently with, even despite like, addition of colors and everything, it's been consistent of, invasion and sharks, incubation tokens pushing through. And that's been the viable strategy. Like it works.
It works, exactly. And when it's one of those things where it's so funny too, because Numbskull is definitely kind of known for playing black primarily. And so when he got blue in week 1, it felt, I don't know, it was interesting. It was an interesting vibe, and it felt like an odd choice, and it felt like it was going to be outside his comfort zone. But I got to give it to him. He has leaned into it and really ran with it to the point where we're seeing the game-winning cards that are really bringing this home are blue, which is wild. All right, let's watch the next game from Mojoe's perspective here. Let's see.
Sounds good.
What Mojoe's up to. All right. Even with the Proving Grounds in hand, that first hand did not look too great. This one looks rock solid, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, I like this one. Like, we're a little slow, things kind of take in, but gnawing Vermin into a sticker or Lurgoyf kind of following up. Early kind of blocker, we're filling things in, and we've got back-to-back Lurgoyf once we get some lands rolling.
Yep. Milling 2 creatures, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So those Goyfs are going to come in a little bit bigger, and that brings Mojoe closer to some lands, which is what he's hoping to draw here. Losing the Augur of Autumn is a little, I don't know, it's not necessarily problematic, but that would have been a good draw once the third land is here. Yeah.
And the Boseiju targeting here.
Boseiju on the Xeodor's Proving Grounds, interesting.
And we grab probably a Xander's Lounge, right? Because Mojoe wants access to all his colors.
Yeah, so that does it.
And there's a Crow Somnifage. I'm liking this.
Interesting. Yeah, this is looking okay. So sure enough. Now, notably, all right, so here we go. So I was just looking at that Dreamroot Cascade. That is the blue-green one, correct? Or am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is blue-green.
I asked because the Deathcap Glade is the black-green one, and it has a lot of blue in its artwork. It throws me every time. That was a rough mill. Oh my goodness, 4 lands.
Whoa.
Ouch.
While it was 4 lands, though, that might be a good thing for Mojoe, though. Like, he can make this work with lower lands and like thinning things for Stick Fingers and Lurgoyf to really get the mill rolling now. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise, right? Maybe.
I mean, well, and he still drew the land of our waste. There were 5 lands in a row on top of the deck. So still hitting the land drop is huge here. This Lurgoyf is getting kicked pre-combat in the hopes of the other Lurgoyf getting a little bigger. 2 lands out of the 3 cards milled.
So many lands.
So many lands. All right, and keeping the Gnawing Vermin back to block alongside the other Goyf means that Numbskull is not going to have a clean attack on that invasion, at least not just yet.
Yeah, and that's absolutely huge because that's untapping and more spells. Something that obviously we don't want to see, but...
Right. Yeah, Kaitis, the Sea Tyrant of Segovia, is a fantastic card. If you have not had the opportunity to flip an Invasion of Segovia, I highly recommend it.
Mojoe not relying on the auto tap here. Respect.
Nope, not today. Keep that red mana open just in case.
Oh,
there we go. That was a good one. That mill was looking a little bit better.
Using the Callous Sellsword. Oh,
this is perfect. This represents lethal unless Numbskull has something in hand because the Gnawing Vermin is going to kill both, and the Goyfs grow because another creature hit the graveyard.
Exactly.
So that's representing 14 damage.
Is this the comeback of game 2?
Oh, the go for the throat says not today.
It's
at least not yet.
Not yet, but that's 8 damage.
Still 8 damage, and Mojoe has the threat on board, whereas Numbskull does not. Let's see what happens.
Mojoe's got we've got like 2 8/8s in the background with 2 Cruel Somniphages, plus the Stick Fingers. Like
Path of Peril. Now Numbskull had to tap out to do that, so yes, it did slow Mojoe down by a turn, but here we have double Somniphages.
2 9/9s.
So that's Mojoe making the statement, all right, man, do you got another one of those? And Numbskull says, yes, I do. He even cleaved it for good measure. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Sticky's coming in.
Yep. Sticky fingers. An 11-11.
Yup.
Wow. All right. The Goyfs just keep on coming. All right, Numbskull, you got another one. There was a third in the sideboard. We all saw it. Do you have it? in the top 16 cards.
That would be crazy. He does.
No way!
What even?
What is happening? Oh my goodness! And the Sea
shark!
Shark. No way. Okay, so here's the Urborg Lurgoyf for Mojo. That's huge. Doesn't even need to kick it here. Could, doesn't have to. All right, so we have the 13-14 Goyf, and right now the Sea Shark is the only blocker. If Numbskull has a spell here, he can play that out and get an incubator, hopefully. Now there is some hesitation. The 3 paths, that is wild.
I can't believe 3 in a row.
All right, so the Sea Shark is going to be crashing in.
Okay, animated land here. I like that. We want the damage
absolutely.
where we can.
Even if there is removal for the Goyf, you got to get in for the damage while you can. Here they're swinging. The fact that the Seed Shark attacked in means that there's got to be a response here. Yep, sure enough. Goyf gets bounced. Unfortunately, that is an ability being channeled, not a spell, so the Chrome Host Seed Shark does not trigger off of it. Yep. And here comes a casual 14-15 for 2.
Always a good time. I mean, Numbskull needs like a removal off the top here to stay in this game. Can't risk attacking otherwise.
Actually, no, this attack is perfectly fine. Because Kaitis on the backside is going to be able to untap the Chrome Host Seed Shark.
You're right. They're right. And it's an extra blocker.
Exactly. So, Numbskull's not out of this yet. We don't know what that card is in their hand. Cottage here's not bad. Yeah, the Llanowar Wastes makes for a fine 3/3. When you have the opportunity to animate a Pain land, that's usually a good choice.
Oh, 100%. And having that Restless Cottage ready to go on the next turn, even better too. Just an extra attack.
In case there's some magical 4th Path of Peril that shows up. All right, so Go for the Throat is going to be answering the Goyf. That also creates the Incubator token that Numbskull can use to block. Excellent. Yeah, that Go for the Throat was critical.
Was absolutely clutch.
All right, so yeah, the Chrome Host Seed Shark is going to soak up the 3/3. It looks like Numbskull is going to choose to take the 1 damage rather than give Mojo that Undead Butler Death Trigger.
Yeah, I don't think you can risk that, right? Because you potentially just grab another Callous Sellsword.
Exactly. If a Callous Sellsword comes off the top, then I mean, at the very least, you're taking 3 damage off of an animated land.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Numbskull right now can attack freely because of Kaitis' ability. Could have even got in with Kaitis itself. And so the Llanowar Loam Speaker can animate the Restless Cottage, and the Cottage will retain its attack trigger. Instead, though, Mojo is going to commit everything to go as wide as humanly possible.
And I think Mojo just has to, right? Like, you need to go a bit wider and force some of the attacks and blocks, because at this point, you're forcing trades on from Numbskull. The Incubator token has to get traded. Either he takes the 1 from the Undead Butler or gives a Callous Sellsword back. And, like, you know, the Llanowar Waste is just pushing in.
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. So yeah, the Seed Shark and Kaitis are both going to die here, which is definitely not where Numbskull wants to be. But at the same time, it gets rid of the Restless Cottage. And here comes Catilda, who is a powerful card, but not exactly.
A Cruel Somnophage.
All right. And here we have yet another scenario where, the auto tapper, not, sure enough, leaving the pain, or, tapping the pain lands first when they can, which, I mean, sure, it makes sense, but a little unfortunate in this scenario. All right, and now if that Undead Butler dies at any point here, Mojo grabs the Callous Sellsword and it's over.
Yep, that's just spelling the game here.
And so, in a way, even if Numbskull finds blockers, he's still on a 3-turn clock here.
It's a 1/1.
Witness Protection. All right, here we go.
What is this game?
I think this is still it, right? Because this is a swing in. Numbskull has to block the Llanowar Waste. Takes 2.
Yep, go to 1.
Go to 1. I mean, and they've used up. I mean, Numbskull has used up all 3 board wipes. So I think this is Mojo pushing it to game 3.
I think you're right, and that is Oddity coming in, going.
Oddity's great, but it's not enough here. Yep. Even the 1/1 Somnophage is applying some pressure and making it happen.
That Somnophage has seen some things through the Path of Perils.
Absolutely. All right, let's head on back to Numbskull's side of things because, there's a sideboard to interact with.
Yeah, sideboard. I like, no offense to no sideboard Joe, but
Oh my goodness. Sideboards. Absolutely. All right, so here we go. So Numbskull apparently was actually rocking a 62 card deck there. I didn't realize that. Dropping it back down to 60.
What a hand.
I mean, choosing to mulligan because it was only a 2-lander, which makes sense, and that is a very mature and very correct thing to do.
Agreed.
I would have totally kept that last hand though, because it has 2 Path of Perils in it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, was 2 wasn't enough? 3 wasn't even. Maybe Numbskull
3 did not end up being enough. Yeah.
Maybe Numbskull just thinks like at this point it's Chrome Host, Seed Shark, and spells, and that's it. That's what I need because those incubators did carry game 1.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, enjoying the dance here. Unfortunately, there isn't a second white or green source. That said, if he finds either, he's good. Because of the overgrown farmland. Sure enough. And then Gnawing Vermin coming down. Ooh, 2 cottages.
Okay.
That's a thing. All right. Seed Shark, which has 4 toughness for some reason. Just putting that out there.
Just casually, yeah.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's fine. Because, cut down is for suckers.
Yeah. Yeah, who wants to cut down a shark?
Just cut down. You don't need to cut down a shark. That Mojoe is fantastic here. Now, it's kind of awkward because Numbskull probably wants to keep it back to blow up those cottages. However, right here, being able to get the oddity on time and establish some beats before one of the Goyfs shows up, I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, it looks like we're slightly blocking filling the graveyard.
Yep. Put another thing in the yard, sure.
Which, seems fine. And maybe we got a land here and... Like, Skyfisher Spider feels like the best thing we want here, right? Just deal with that Seed Shark before anything.
Yeah, being able to knock out a Seed Shark here would be fantastic. Augur of Autumn is great.
Yeah, we got stuff from lands. We know that's strong. And
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, Undead Butler. Oh, and Mojoe had played his land for turn before playing out the Augur. And so that was a little unfortunate. The Augur, like so many other creatures in Standard right now, does in fact have a throat.
It does, in fact.
Numbskull's going to go for it. So here we are. Oddity and Seed Shark swinging in again. This represents 6 more damage. The Butler could soak up 2 of it on the ground. And Mojoe elects to do just that.
Yeah, I imagine like we're probably grabbing a key creature because we did mill like a Somnophagia, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that's true. At this point, I have no doubt Mojoe has all kinds of options in there, and it grabs the.
Oh, it's Skyfisher.
It's gonna be the spider. Let's go. So yeah, Mojoe found the Skyfisher spider, and Numbskull, seeing that, chooses to join the dance right now, rather than keep. Well, actually, there was no black mana left open, so go for the throat wasn't viable. So, yeah, so join the dance, get another incubate while the getting's good.
Yeah, just make use of the mana while you can.
Absolutely. Deathcap Glade getting animated and then tapping for land. Or tapping for mana, rather. And here comes the Spoder, sacrificing the Deathcap Glade and going to pick off the Oddity. Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Oh, another Oddity.
And then let's go to top decks, another one. Honk, honk. Here we go.
This really is just a game of top decks from Numbskull at this point. Like, I need a second Seed Shark. I've got it. I need a second Oddity. I've got it. Like,
It's been pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, and I think that is actually some of the best advice for any, any aspiring Magic players out there. Just draw the right cards. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. Just draw the cards that are appropriate for that situation. You're fine. You'll be great. Yeah.
Like,
it's just like that.
Yeah, that's all you need. I mean, it's happened all day today, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Game one, double Seed Shark. Game 2, triple path. Like, just draw what you need.
Exactly. Or just have it on the top of the deck, as Damien pointed out in the game 1 against you there earlier.
Yes, exactly like that.
Just have the right cards in the right moment. That's it. Yeah. That's all you need. Anyway. Well, yeah, so Numbskull is drawing Gasoline. To be fair, Mojoe's also getting some good stuff here. We have a very tight game here. So Numbskull established the beatdown early, and Mojoe is just trying to kind of shore up the defense. That said, we have Cottages, we have Somnophages. Here's the Cal Sellsword picking off the Seed Shark. All right. But of course, Numbskull has another one, because that's how this works.
Naturally, yep. And then keeping the black man open so we can go for the throat.
Gonna go ahead and go over the throat of the Skyfisher Spider, which is gonna gain Mojoe 6 life here.
Yep. Always good. And then swing back in. And I like the pressure that Numbskull is applying here. I don't need to attack my 1/1s. They just need to sit. I throw in my 4 damage here, my 2 damage here. It's like surgical extraction, right? You're picking in where you need.
Absolutely. So here we go. Loam Speaker animating the cottage. This time the cottage attacks.
Getting the
Showdown, getting join the dance out of the graveyard. That flashback would have been very meaningful. Would have produced a whole bunch more tokens and another incubator, and Mojoe didn't want to deal with it. And so here we go. And now the Chrome Post Sea Shark and that 1/1 are gonna join the fray here. So the 1/1 is gonna die unless Mojoe has some trickery, potentially involving a gnawing vermin or something of that nature. In which case, the damage to the Sea Shark might happen. Although I don't believe he has any sack outlets outside of the Callous Sellsword. So the chances of that happening here are very low.
Yeah, it's kind of small. And choosing instead to do the Chrome
the damage to the Sea Shark. Okay, all right.
Is there something we're not seeing? Is there another Sellsword?
I'm assuming there's... Yeah, if there's another Sellsword in hand, I gotta say, this would be pretty fantastic. And sure enough, there is.
There is, all right.
One of the Loam Speakers is gonna pick off that Shark. That's big time. And that allows a 4/4 Loam Speaker to come on in.
Oh my goodness.
That blanks the oddity all of a sudden. Wait a minute.
Is this a potential comeback?
I gotta say, I mean, Mojoe is fighting to stabilize at this point.
Agreed.
Numbskull is now doing some combat math. A full swing here puts Mojoe down to 1. Again, we're at that point. 1 HP in a dream. We've seen 2 Callous Sellswords fire already. So the chances of finding another one, actually no. I was about to say, unless Mojoe brought one in from the sideboard, then wait a minute. What am I talking about?
No, this is Mo's sideboard. Sideboard Joe. There is no sideboard play.
There is no sideboard. So as a result, there are only 2 Callous Sellswords in the entire deck. Both of them were phenomenal here. And then Numbskull is going to be cracking in for 4. That food token brings Mojoe up to 4, which is Xaxes. So congratulations, Numbskulls, for putting it down.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness, that was a great match. I gotta say, that was
fantastic.
That was lovely. And Astrals, thank you so much for joining me in the booth once again. I do appreciate it. All right, cool. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get our combatants back in here.
Holy bananas,
dude!
5/3 Path to Peril.
All right, but yeah, so beautifully done, gentlemen. So yeah, Mojoe, how are you feeling? What is
after? Well, I mean, I was all warmed up from the double Calvary and the 3 Peril. I mean, I don't know what else could go wrong, but that was the perfect storm, and I enjoyed every freaking play of it.
That was fun.
Yeah. That was a great match, guys.
So you got me again. First, the windows you smashed through my window. Is this our third match this season?
I believe it's only the second.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Oh my
to be fair, both matches have been absolutely epic. So
yeah, they've been fun both times. I think all except game 3.
Yes. So yeah, well done. Those Path of Peril ended up being a really nice choice. But I gotta say, Mojoe, it was very impressive in that game. Numbskull needed all 3 of those.
I needed a 4th one, really.
You needed a 4th one, exactly.
Tribal.
Yeah, those being able to drop a 14/15 for 2 is pretty fantastic as the game progressed. So that was fun to watch.
I like doing that one. He just racked them all away again and over and over.
Yeah, I was like, play all your cards, Mojoe. Come on.
Do it. Come on, commit. Exactly.
I kept 1 back every time.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Except when I saw a 3rd Peril. That was go time after that,
The funniest part was that I didn't even see the dinosaur.
Oh yeah, your 4 of dinosaur that you built the deck around. We never saw him once.
Extinct, if you will.
Indeed, that was really unfortunate because
because I think one of those games I could have put a pretty beefy dinosaur on the board.
You sure could have. Yeah.
So at least 1 or 2 of those. So it's unfortunate, but thankfully I was able to go wide enough once again to make it happen. So it was cool.
Numbskull right now in the placings in the standings is a anybody's game between 3 of the contestants at least.
Indeed. So
am I in first place?
You're in second, but it's so close.
Oh,
so our overall standings
half a point.
our overall standings right now.
Oh,
Number one, at the tippity top of the leaderboard is Carlo Cifaverdo Jr. with 3.5 points. Then Numbskull, you are in second place, and you have a very dominant position with 3 points. So you're a half a point away. So it is going to come down to next week and how that shakes out to determine. I mean, it's going to be coming down to the wire to see who's going to be winning this one, which is great. We also have Damien at 2 points, Astrals at 1.5 points, and then Mojoe at 1. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say this has been a really fun,
Amazing.
a really fun setup.
Fourth
And I love the fact that our two leaders here, we have Carlo and Numbskull both have kind of a signature card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been Carlo's been rocking the Tyrannex Rex pretty consistently in this competition, and then you've got the Sea Sharks, which have been
Of course,
clutch.
yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Sharknado all the way, man.
all the way. It's been impressive to
So
see.
many tokens, dude. The incubations, man. Big
Yeah.
dino DNA all over the place.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It's been an absolute blast. So I gotta say, well played all around. Oh my goodness.
All right, you want to get in here, Hammer? Oh.
We can get, you know what? It looks like we may have lost, looks like we lost Damien. I'm sure he had to go. But we can absolutely get folks in. You're going to see Mojoe twice. This is how this works.
Here, guys.
All right. Actually, you know what? Here, I'm going to do something real quick. So,
Of some
all
dude
right. So we got
Fight
Mojoe
Club.
once there. All right, perfect. I'm not blocking Carlo
Video
anymore.
about
But yes.
more Hawaiian shirts.
But yes, thank you everybody for making this possible. Y'all are fantastic. And folks out there on the Twitch, thank you for joining us. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact,
Follow these
thank you as well
guys,
for making it
guys.
to the end of the video. Holy cow, thank you.
Follow the streamers.
Follow all the streamers right now on Twitch. If you look at the title of this video right now, right down there, all of those little names are all links. You can click on them. Actually, I believe you just hover them and you'll get the little follow button.
Nailed it.
So just click it. Just go click those things right now. And you know what? I kind of want to be in the middle of our little Brady Bunch thing here, so I'm gonna move. There we go. All right, cool.
There we go.
That's it.
All
Perfect.
right.
Perfect.
So yes, click on all of those links. These are all phenomenal streamers. That's why we reached out to them, and they've been gracious enough to show up here and show off all their janky brews. It's
You guys at home too, chat. And for
Absolutely.
I believe this is the concludes week 4. Next week will be the grand finale 5-color showdown to determine your champion of Fight Club season 3.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Let's
I
go.
know. I got goosebumps.
I'm ready.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be the greatest.
All right, guys, you accept this challenge. Chat, you at home, one last time, only on
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Touch Clubs, guys.
do it.
See you next week.